Yo, what's going on, everyone? Remember how I told you I'm going to keep thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it? And then eventually I'm going to figure out why the heck his arm is going blue. And, well, I'll just pull it up really quick, actually, first, before I get into the article. Let's go, let's go to League of Legends. What's this? All games made by former Rioters are failing. Oh, yeah, I saw that tweet. That was a little bit ago. Greg Street is basically Greg Street's saying that his MMO is being canceled. MMO is no joke, guys. MMO is a risky business. It's a risky business. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, you guys can hear it now. So what I was talking about was I was really confused by this. Why is his arm glowing here? Like, his arm is glowing here. He seems a little bit surprised by it. But if we go to his skin, Xin Zhao, Xin Zhao. Oh, just go to skins, right here. Yeah. Xin Zhao returned to Ionia seeking knowledge about the mysterious wild blooms of old, only to find himself defending the Kinku temple from the foul demonkin horde. He and Yunara emerged victorious, but his Damascene steel spear is broken. Now blessed by Kinku magic and his spear remade, Xin Zhao prepares to face whatever awaits him in the spirit realm. So this is like before he enters. Well, I think this is actually after because his eye, but there's a little bit of like before he enters and then post. But what it says here is that he's blessed by Kinku magic. So that's why his arm is glowing here. He's being blessed by Kinku magic. Yo, what up, King? What's going on? So he is blessed by Kinku magic here. And then the next thing I was really confused by was the skin itself. Why the heck is his eye blue? Why is his eye blue here? And so we're going to discuss it. I'm going to explain to you guys my thought process as to why his eye is blue and what really happened to Xin Zhao in the Trials of Twilight. The Blue-Eyed Spear, unmasking Xin Zhao's dark confusion and LeBlanc's master plan. I thought about this pretty much all day after stream. I was nonstop thinking about this the whole day. And it didn't come to the realization until like I messaged in Discord. What was it, like freaking yeah, oh well, it didn't take that long. You guys know when you're thinking about something really hard, like time freaking dilates? I felt like this had been hours. It turns out it was 10:53 a.m. that I got the revelation, and then I started working on the article. So let's go through it. LeBlanc's true plan in the Blue-Eyed Spear. Xin Zhao. A glimmer of the ancient. A recent unveiling of Xin Zhao's Trials of Twilight skin has sparked intense speculation among lore enthusiasts. That's us, guys, because we were speculating on it yesterday. While the skin's aesthetic is striking, it's a specific detail that has caught the community's eye. A singular, glowing blue eye. This isn't just a cosmetic choice, it hints at a profound shift in Xin Zhao's being, one that echoes an ancient connection and a shadowy manipulation. This is the eye that I'm talking about right here. His right eye is somehow blue, but then his left eye is his standard, what we've seen with Xin Zhao before. The description of the skin reads, as I read to you guys earlier, Xin Zhao returned to Ionia seeking knowledge about the mysterious wild blooms of old, only to find himself defending the Kinku temple from a foul demonkin horde. He and Yunara emerged victorious, but his Damascene steel spear was broken. Now blessed by Kinku magic and his spear remade, Xin Zhao prepares to face whatever awaits him in the spirit realm. And we're going to talk about the defending against the demons as well. But yeah, I would have never said anything if his eye wasn't blue. But where have we seen this distinctive blue eye glow before? The answer lies in the motion comic Spirit Blossom Beyond the Devoted Shrine Ring, because we have literally seen this glowing blue eye in the past already within the Runeterra universe. And it's Yunara. Literally the cover photo of her, the Devoted Shrine Maiden, has her with the blue eye. And if we play this, right at this point, where I was playing it says, before she doesn't have this blue eye effect. No blue eye effect. No blue eye effect. Nothing here. No blue eye, right? Until the moment he starts bonding with her. Right here, no blue eyes. She's just like 2 eyes glowing. Right there, the blue eyes starts. And with the pact sealed, their fates became as one. I don't know if this blue eye has to do with the pact between them being sealed, or if the blue eye has something to do with the power of Zaheen, like being given to Yunara in some way. But regardless, the blue eye, and then they really emphasize it here. It's like really emphasized, look at this blue eye. It's everything is black except for her hand and just showing you guys the blue eye. What up, individual? Come on. Look at the emphasis on the blue eyes. You guys, you know what? We're going full screen for this. You guys need to really I want to make sure absolutely no one misses this at all. No blue eye anywhere in this cinematic at all until after she forms the pact with Zaheen. Right after the pact with Zaheen, and with this pact sealed, their fates became as one, and you can see the blue. Interesting. And they super emphasize it here. Blue eye, everything else is black. Oh, you guys can't hear it. But that's not really, the point is just that. That's really it. Why is the Chrome not working? Chrome. Can you guys hear it now? Oh, I see. Okay.
To those who had defiled the...
You guys can hear it now, right? Yeah, there you go. Okay. So what I was saying is that the entire time throughout the cinematic, she does not have the right blue eye. No matter where you look, you're not going to see it until she makes the pact with Zaheen. Once the pact is made, the blue eye appears.
Sealed, their fates became as one.
Now, this could have to do with the pact they made, or this could have to do with, oh, you know, she's just, she's like something to do with the power that Zaheen gives her. But post her interaction with Zaheen, this blue eye appears, and they really emphasize it here. Everything is black. She's has her hand like this, and then,
Together, the Shrine Maiden and
the Shrine Maiden
set out across the first lands.
Look how much they're pointing it out to us. Look at this. Look how much they're pointing out. This eye has emphasized throughout the rest of the cinematic.
Bringing retribution
the Trials of Twilight
defiled
or the
sacred balance.
The Shrine Maiden comic. Whenever she's fighting, it seems it's not
as
here.
You all know, would come to be known as the War of the False Conme.
Nothing here.
Instead,
but they emphasized it a lot, especially when she was in combat, and especially right after the pact was made. So something with this blue eye, they're emphasizing it to us, so we should probably take note. The implications are staggering. Xin Zhao appears to have fused with Zaheen, the very Darkin who was instrumental in sealing his brethren, only to slowly succumb to corruption himself. Let's not forget that at the end of the Shrine Maiden, Devoted Shrine Maiden, the Darkin Zaheen literally says, "In truth, I am no different from those who fought. I had hoped when this was done, I could overcome my nature. But alas, if your enemies are mine, then I am an enemy of all, and must leave this realm." He thought he could overcome his nature. He's not saying he did. He thought he could. He feels the pull of the Darkin coming onto him, and I'm sure after all these years trapped in the spirit realm within the Darkin glaive, has not been good to him. Oh damn, bro! The streaming during Worlds, that's some dedication, yo. I always stream. I stream. This is the slot. We're gonna do it. Unfortunately, gotta head out, dog. Hope you have a nice day, yo. Thanks, individual. I appreciate that. What up, Como? So this blue eye, extremely important. Zaheen's burden, a darkened, slipping grasp. Zaheen's history is crucial to understanding this potential fusion. As one of the original Ascended warriors, he played a pivotal role in the imprisonment of the Darkin in Ionia. However, This immense responsibility and exposure to dark and magic began to take its toll. He started to succumb to the very corruption he fought to contain. In a moment of dire need, facing a powerful demonic threat, Yunara, then believing him to be benevolent Kami spirit, merged with Zahin to channel his power. It was only after that he revealed his true darkened nature to her. So he was darkened to begin with, right? He already fought in the Darkin War. He even says that, like, I deceived you. Who knows what fighting the other Darkin anyways did to him. Maybe made him worse, maybe exacerbated the symptoms, because it seemed like he had a little bit of control at the beginning. And, you know, maybe that just made it worse, and now he's, like, going into the spirit realm full Darkin. Right? And then she puts him in the glaive over time. So let's assume that at this point, Zahin's Darkin like the other Darkin. Zahin himself was actually aware of his encroaching corruption, stating in the motion comic, "I feel myself slipping, losing myself to the rage, to the Darkin within." This chilling declaration from centuries ago highlights the inherent danger of Zahin's power and the constant struggle he faced. Now, if Xin Zhao has indeed absorbed or fused with Zahin, the consequences of the essential Demacia could be profound and potentially catastrophic, regardless of Zahin's historical good intentions. I want to make sure you guys understand what we're talking about here. We're talking about this. At the end of the Truth motion comic, The Trials of Twilight, we know they're going to the spirit realm.
I am honored by this gift. May the spirit of the tree be blessed in return.
They go to the spirit realm, for sure.
This is it. Do not stray from the path. Yunara, you know what to do.
They enter the spirit realm, and he ends up on the Viscero. We don't know past this point.
No, it cannot be.
He's aboard the Viscero.
This is the Visceral. Ouyang? Then...
This was where it all started. The moment your life changed forever. And your trial has already begun.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. We don't know what happens to Xin Zhao post this. What we do know is that he comes out like this, with this blue eye. And we've already said that this blue eye clearly has some ties to Yunara and her pact with Zahin. Either has to do with the pact, or she had some kind of fusion, like some soft fusion with the Dark and Zahin. LeBlanc's masterpiece, The Architect of Chaos. This entire chain of events, Xin Zhao's journey, the Trials of Twilight, his potential fusion, appears to be a part of a meticulous orchestrated plan by LeBlanc. Her goal, as previously theorized, is to gain control over a darkened host, and Xin Zhao unknowingly has been her primary pawn. The catalyst for all of this was an anomaly, an architect's spirit blossom appearing in Demacia. This impossible sight compelled Xin Zhao, at the behest of the king Jarvan IV, to return to his homeland of Ionia in search of answers. This journey was not by chance. If this was LeBlanc's design, and she famously stated, "Your course was doomed the moment you left Demacia." Upon arriving in Ionia and planting the sapling from the very blossom, Xin Zhao inadvertently created a rift, and this act violently pulled Yunara's ancient temple, along with the powerful darkened glaive containing Zahin, from the spirit realm into the material world, making it accessible and vulnerable. And we see that right here. And this. I mean, we've talked about this so many times, but this spirit blossom, is very interesting. That he plants it, and where he plants it, that's the same place that Yunara's temple gets pulled into the material realm.
Quailing, perhaps? No.
Much further. In fact, this little tree has brought me halfway across the world.
Not possible.
In the palace gardens of the great city of Demacia.
Spirit blossoms do not fall beyond the first lands.
That's impossible. Spirit blossoms do not fall beyond the first lands.
Yeah. Well, this one did, and I actually agree with those guys that spirit blossoms should not fall beyond the first lands. So what's going on here?
Changed. Noxus cut our people far deeper than...
And then he plants it right here. Right? That's where he plants it. That's the same spot Yunara's temple gets pulled in. And what do they show up to fight? A bunch of random demons. That's the ARAM cinematic. LeBlanc's influence is even evident in her very fabric of the spirit realm itself. The spirit blossoms, typically pink, are seen corrupted in a sinister red in the Trials of Twilight trailer, underscoring her declaration, as the spirit blossoms fall, the black rose rises. I think this also shows even further that Xin Zhao's spirit blossom is not what it seems, and there's something sinister hiding within it, right there.
Blossoms fall.
Look at this pink spirit blossoms and they become red.
And the black rose rises. Do you feel like the heroes of this story?
There's so much in this Trials of Twilight trailer, but the main thing that I just wanted to point out was that, yeah, the spirit blossom at the beginning literally go from this nice Ionian pink to this deep black rose red. And I think that's another hint pointing at the spirit blossom that Xin Zhao brought to Ionia being corrupted by LeBlanc ahead of time. And I think she used Xin Zhao to get the spirit blossom into place to pull Yunara's temple in. Atakan and the Azakana, a calculated diversion. Remember that the reason that Yunara runs out of her temple here is because she right when she teleports in, she looks around, she sees a bunch of demons attacking and this guy, random guy defending against demons, like this village, this helpless village. Yunara, being the person that she is, immediately sprints out of the temple. By the time she gets back, the temple's already gone. Like if the demons weren't there, the temple and Yunara would have traveled back to the spirit realm and the darkened glaive wouldn't have been exposed. Also, Xin Zhao wouldn't have been there. Atakan and the Azakana, a calculated diversion. To ensure her plan unfolded without interference, LeBlanc needed a major distraction. Enter the demonkin horde led by Atakan. A cinematic from this season revealed the nightmare Xin Zhao experienced, one that felt more like a vision of the future. It depicted a demon, Atakan, claiming a darkened glaive amidst a destroyed Demacian throne room. This was likely no random dream, but a carefully crafted illusion sent by LeBlanc herself. The purpose is to plant a seed of fear and focus in Xin Zhao's attention squarely on the demon as the primary threat, making him more desperate and willing to take extreme measures like fusing with an ancient power to prevent it. She really wants him to focus on this. Let's assume, right, that I'm right, that this is a vision from LeBlanc sent to Xin Zhao. She sent him this vision. This is in the temple, in the spirit realm. That's the darkened glaive right there. All this ink coming out. Demacia in ruins. This is just to like stir him up, you know? Be like, your homeland will be destroyed unless unless you go and stop him. There's his throne, literally the throne of Demacia. Garen and Jarvan are both darkened. The crown is shattering. This is all a vision given to him by LeBlanc to focus him on Atakan. He sees Atakan grabbing the darkened glaive, and then she literally puts Atakan on the throne in Demacia. Look at that. Literally places him on the throne. She's trying to rile him up, get his focus, get him focused in the right spot, which is not on her, but on Atakan himself. The vision directly supports Yunara's later revelation. The vision directly supports Yunara's later realization. The Azakana spirits were a distraction to lure me away from my post. They mean to free Zahin. So, I mean, this guy just had a vision. Yunara wakes up and sees a bunch of demons. Wakes up and sees a bunch of demons like attacking all these people, and
the Azakana spirits were a distraction to lure me away from my post. They mean to free Zahan. Master Kennen and I must go. You should return to your ship, Xin Zhao, and warn the people of Demacia that the Darkin have returned.
Yo, what up, Genshin? So, at this point, where are we at, right? Where are we really at? Somehow, Xin Zhao comes out of the Trials of Twilight with a blue eye. The only other time we've ever seen a blue eye is with Yunara after she made her pact with Zaheen. We know they're going into the Trials of Twilight to stop the demons from capturing Zaheen, right? She literally states that this was all a distraction. Let's focus on the demons. Zaheen's burden, all this stuff. That's how she fuses. And in the same place, that Spirit Blossom that we see in literally this cinematic, Spirit Blossom's going from red, from beautiful like Ionian pink to blood rose red. And then we know that this Spirit Blossom is planted in the same spot that Yunara's temple gets pulled into. That's where Yunara's temple gets pulled, which allows them to take Yunara and move her away from Zaheen, so she's no longer protecting it. Again, the demon emphasis, so focus on the demons. The vision that made him believe like this demon Atakan, which he'd never met before, but this random demon is going to take over a darkened glaive. Connects with Yunara, demons are attacking, it all ties together. Even Yunara says, this must be a distraction. The demons were there to lure me away from my post. The critical insights from Yunara's points directly to LeBlanc's deeper control. She is the master of hiding in plain sight. It's plausible that LeBlanc, who can control a powerful demon like Atakan, is also commanding the lesser Azakan. By making Atakan appear as their leader, she creates a clear, formidable enemy for the heroes to focus on, while her true plan, the fusion of Xin Zhao and Zaheen, unfolds in the shadows. Xin Zhao and Yunara believe they are fighting a demonic horde, when in reality, they are merely reacting to a carefully staged performance. And look, even in this cinematic, she literally shows Xin Zhao and Yunara facing off against Atakan. And she encourages it. She doesn't tell them, oh no, don't foil my plan. She literally says,
and entered my world of
the game was over the moment you left Demacia and entered my world of thorns. The moment he took that Spirit Blossom out of Demacia, took it into Ionia and planted it for her, it was already over. That was the key that allowed her to accomplish everything.
Make your final stand.
Make your final stand.
And see how your story ends.
Make your final stand against who? Atakan. And what is he? He's just LeBlanc's puppet.
And see how your story ends.
He's literally in the Trials of Twilight skin here. So they're going to go in there. I think Yunara and Xin Zhao are going to battle against Atakan in the spirit realm to try and save the Darkened Glaive. Where was I? Right here. Yeah, so LeBlanc's visual cues, the fractured, shattered glass effect, has been prevalent in recent promotional materials, underscoring her illusionary hand in these events. The 25.20 patch notes cover features Xin Zhao and his glowing eye, continuing the visual motif from the 25.18 cover that prominently displays these characteristic cracks. So this is 25.18. You can see the cracks, right? That's Hallmark LeBlanc. And then we go up to the new patch, 25.20, again, like the Hallmark cracks of LeBlanc. And now we could see more of the image. And it's like, oh, they're cutting through this illusion in a way. This illusion of Atakan and him falling on his knees. But I think they're just going deeper into it. Here's Xin Zhao, his eye is glowing blue now. What a mistake. So, this visual signature connects directly to LeBlanc's splash art, reinforcing her role as the master and illusionist behind the unfolding drama. The Grand Gambit, a weapon against the Iron Revenant. LeBlanc's overarching motivation is far grander than more ancient than a simple Noxian power struggle. Everything she does is likely in service of her ultimate goal, preventing the return of Mordekaiser. Her biography reveals her as the Pale Sorceress who betrayed the Iron Revenant centuries ago, neutralizing his power source, the Immortal Bastion. She knows the true extent of his power and what his return would mean for Runeterra and more importantly for her. Her recent description for a new host is not just about replacing an assassinated pawn. It's about securing a weapon powerful enough to contend with Mordekaiser. As she states in her color story, Thorns of the Black Rose, no Grand General. The Emperor or Tyrant, no Emperor or Tyrant can stand unless the Mistress of the Immortal Bastion allows it. With the rise of Jericho Swain, a Grand General she cannot easily corrupt, her control is threatened. More pressingly, the dark magic stirring across the world signals that the threat of Mordekaiser may be closer than ever. Acquiring a Darkin, a corrupted god warrior of immense power, and binding it to the host she can manipulate like Xin Zhao will provide her with an unparalleled asset in an inevitable war to come. Her actions are not just about ruling Noxus, they're about ensuring she has the power to defeat the one entity she truly fears, Mordekaiser. The context strongly suggests that Xin Zhao, a formidable warrior, noble and strong-willed, makes an ideal and perhaps unwitting host for a controlled Darkin. Zaheen, in his unique history of both sealing and succumbing coming to Darkin power, would represent a significant acquisition for LeBlanc. The fusion might even be perceived as necessary. Heroic act by Xin Zhao and Yunara to combat the demonic threat, playing directly into Blanc's deceptive narrative. If the theory holds true, Xin Zhao's fusion with Zaheen is not an end, but a terrifying new beginning to LeBlanc's intricate game. Her plan likely extends far beyond merely acquiring a powerful new champion. What could be her next move with a dark and infused Xin Zhao under her influence? Could be unraveling Demacia, weapon against the Iron Revenant, a new pawn in the Void War, or reshaping the Black Rose. At the end of the day, the Black Rose is a bunch of people just competing with each other, really. The Trials of Twilight appears to be a critical juncture, not just for Xin Zhao and Ionia, but for the balance of power across Runeterra. LeBlanc's declaration, as the spirit blossoms fall, the Black Rose rises, rings truer than ever. The stage is set for a dramatic revelation, where heroes and villains alike might find themselves mere puppets in the grand design of the Deceiver. And I really think this is the case. I think that post the Trials of Twilight, it seems like Xin Zhao obtains, in some way, a fusion with Zaheen, or a pact with Zaheen. That's getting us that blue eye glow that we saw with Yunara so many years ago. So let me know what you guys think. I honestly think I'm pretty right. I think that this is it. Obviously, I don't know for sure, right? We have to wait to see what the next comic is, what the next piece of lore is, but I think this is pretty likely. And then I thought, hey, let's go through. I've never gone through all these LeBlanc voice lines, special interactions, the same with the Yunara voice lines and special interactions. So maybe let's go through these. These are by Skin Spotlight. No, wrong one. LeBlanc voice update. Those are special interactions. LeBlanc voice lines. Let's see. Okay, let's go through this.
Katarina, still looking for father figures to disappoint?
That's just a nod to Katarina right off the bat. Like, because she's... I still think Katarina is supposed to be a little bit loyal to Swain. And LeBlanc usually doesn't like that. That's why I was surprised when Katarina showed up in service of Vladimir to attack Elise, the spider, in the Noxus cinematic. But I think that was still in line with Swain's plan, so it worked. Mel...
Your mother promised you the world, but I will give you eternity.
See how she knows everything? Remember that line in Arcane where Ambessa's like, I will give you the world, child, if you would just be have the strength to take it. That's when Mel is like a little child. Remember they kill that Ionian child? That's all the way in like just south of Piltover. Freaking LeBlanc knows about it and is pointing it out to Mel.
I'll tear your family's name from the histories, Madada.
Ambessa
Madada, you owe a debt that cannot be paid with gold.
Remember the Black Rose spy that Ambessa kills in Arcane? Literally tells her you owe a debt that cannot be paid in gold with gold. So either LeBlanc told this Darkin spy that, or LeBlanc was in the room, or LeBlanc literally was the Black Rose spy.
Sons, daughters, legacies. I'll take whatever you
just
have.
targeting
and
like
better.
the
Remember who it is you serve.
just targeting like the Medardas and their family ties, and basically saying that she's gonna crush it, which is very important to Mbessa and Mel.
I have been warned against
Wait, what did that say? First encounter with Black Rose.
who
Okay.
it is you serve. I have been warned against your kind falling.
Yeah. I've been warning against your fallen one. That's Vladimir literally warns her against it in the cinematic, that Welcome to Noxus cinematic at the end of it, saying, you know, that darling is a step too far even for us.
One. You were the ones who brought the world to its knees. That seems unlikely. I have bound and banished more of your kind than I care to remember.
This is what I was talking about. She says to a demon, I have bound and banished more of your kind than I care to remember. Which, if let's say that she has an army of bound demons, yeah, she could absolutely use them to create a distraction for Yunara and Xin Zhao and Ionia. Right? To create that distraction needed to pull Yunara from her temple.
Who is caught in whose web, I wonder?
That's at least the spider god, right? Who's caught in whose web. Remember, like, the Black Rose is just like freaking a bunch of people manipulating and competing with each other for power. Even LeBlanc and Vladimir are not really allies as much as they are like friends and adversary to each other. It's like they work together, but they could easily work against each other. And we see that anyways. Vladimir kills the Darkin host that LeBlanc had in line to obtain the Darkin weapon and to like fuse with Zaheen. He literally killed him to stop LeBlanc's plan.
This betrayal is disappointing, sister, but not unexpected.
Yeah, so if you guys should know Elise. Elise, Legends of Runeterra. That's Elise, right? The spider god that we saw in the Welcome to Noxus cinematic. Let's keep in mind that Elise is very loyal to. I'm sure she has a voice line with it. Arachnoid horror, no. Vile Maw.
Great spider, I have returned. As it pleases you.
Yeah, so the whole story of Elise is that she traveled to the Shadow Isles and she's like, was given power by the Vile Maw. And she pretty much just services the Vile Maw, transporting bodies to and from transporting food from Noxus, literally live food, to the Shadow Isles to give to the Vile Maw. The reason LeBlanc is aware of this and allows this is because Elise can travel to and from the Shadow Isles, which is very rare since the Shadow Isles is just a corrupted dead zone. And so she goes there and obtains knowledge and sometimes some weapons for the Black Rose. And in return, LeBlanc lets her take people to the Vile Maw to be fed to the Vile Maw. The Vile Maw is not dead, right? It must be alive, which is why it needs to eat. It's probably hard to find food on the Blessed Isles. Well, the Shadow Isles.
Tell me, Jack.
So the saying that her betrayal.
I wonder. This betrayal is disappointing, sister, but not unexpected.
Yeah, so LeBlanc knows that she's loyal to the Vile Maw and not really loyal to the Black Rose.
Tell me, Jarvan, what do you remember of your mother?
That's an interesting one. Tell me, Jarvan, what do you remember of your mother? Didn't his mother die in childbirth or something? Jarvan, lore. Where's like the wiki? Unless his mother didn't die in childbirth. Universe, Jarvan, mother. Later helped her in slaying her mother. No. I thought Jarvan's mom died in childbirth, didn't she? What's this? Yeah, this is like the old one. So many ads on this page. Mother. Yes. I really thought that was the case. Maybe we don't know as much about Jarvan's mom as we do. I mean, we know about his dad, but we don't know too much about his mom. I really thought that Jarvan, fourth lore. see. Catherine, yeah, right there. But Audrey was forgotten when Catherine died in childbirth. So maybe it's not the way she died, but the way, maybe it's not the way she died, but it's the way that, like, something within her life that King Jarvan IV isn't aware of. Unless she died and he just thinks that she died in childbirth. Holy shit, finally caught you live again, huh? Yo, what up, Gara? Gara. What's going on? We went through the news/lore, which is that it turns out Xin Zhao, I'm pretty confident, fused with Zaheen post the Trials of Twilight, and that's very similar to Yunara when she made the pact with Zaheen. You can see the blue glowing eye, and you can see it here in Xin Zhao. So I think that post the Trials of Twilight, Xin Zhao is actually fused with Zaheen, and it's all part of LeBlanc's plan. And now we're going through some LeBlanc voice lines.
What do you remember of your mother?
Something with his mom.
Ah, the young prince. You have your father's eyes. I ended you once, you bastard. I will do it again.
Yeah, because she's the one that really imprisoned Mordekaiser.
Look inside yourself, child of Noxus, and you will see me staring back.
It's because she's literally fully infiltrated Noxus. There's pretty much no one left. She knows everything that goes on in Noxus everywhere at all times. Look inside yourself, child of Noxus, and you will see me staring back at you, probably because freaking she just is Noxus at this point. Not much, man. What up, Gara? You have something.
Have something that belongs to me, Rune Mage.
What could Rise possibly have that belongs to LeBlanc? She better not be talking about the world runes. She can't be staking a claim to the world runes. That would be insane.
Usurper! You have ruined 10 centuries of work!
Man, see, Swain is very adversarial to LeBlanc. And let's not forget that Swain is fused with the demon Raum. That's who's really controlling Swain and telling Swain, what to do, right? I really believe that Raum is in much more control of Swain than we're led to believe, especially when you look at the voice lines. Swain voice lines. Look at the voice line with Nadali. Oh, maybe it's just her line. Not Nadali. Who was it again? Not Nadali. Who am I thinking about? Neela of the Southern Isles. Let's go back to Swain. I think I have it here. Neela? No. Okay. Neela voice lines. Audio.
We are not alike, Jericho Swain. I know the price I paid.
Yeah, so she knows the price she paid. Let's not forget that Neela is fused with one of the 10 demon kings, Ashlesh, the demon of joy. Swain is fused with Raum, and I truly think that Raum has a lot more influence in Noxus and in Swain than we're led to believe. I think that Mordekaiser is fully influenced by Raum, like literally manipulated and controlled completely, and that the realm of death that Mordekaiser thinks that he owns is actually Raum's realm, and that he's siphoning souls there. If we go to Swain's voice lines, which we could talk about another time, he has a ton of voice lines around death, and I just think that Raum is he's not the demon of secrets as much as he is like a demon of death in a sense, because what does Raum really do? He doesn't steal secrets from people that are alive. He steals them in death when someone dies. Although if he was a demon of secrets, he'd be able to steal them from the living. It seems like on battlefields when someone's dying, that's when he can steal secrets. She is almost what Karma is to Ionia. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Karma is exactly. Karma is freaking God level in Ionia. LeBlanc is like God level in Noxus. She is Noxus almost. But it seems like Swain is against her. So but it's not, if Swain is against her, we have to think, why is Raum against her? Well, that's because LeBlanc is trying to stop Mordekaiser from resurrecting. If Mordekaiser resurrects, he's going to kill a ton of people all over again. And I've talked about how I think that there's so much in these voice lines, guys. I've talked about how the Immortal Bastion is actually a siphon that siphons souls to realms, Death Realm, rather than to the afterlife. Like if you're far enough, if you're in Belzun or Neshrame, you will go to Kindred. But Realm this is acting like a siphon that's siphoning souls to the realm's Death Realm. And I think that her saying this is saying like he's ruined 10 centuries of work trying to stop Mordekaiser because maybe his actions are actually causing Mordekaiser to return.
Such ambition, Jericho. Such arrogance. I can work with that. The Ducato name is worthless, boy. Aim higher.
Nah.
A tasteless homage to an unworthy role model, Vagar.
Because Vagar was entrapped and basically twisted by Mordekaiser.
Hemomancer, please. Must we do this again, Vladimir? Still looking for a throne, Ambessa? I fear that ship has long since sailed. Ugh.
Yeah. Man, Ambessa is literally like that throne song with her sitting on the throne in Kindred's Death Realm. Man, what's that called? I think if you just type in like Ambessa music video. Yeah. Blood, sweat, and tears. She ends up sitting on like a throne at the end of it. My gosh, LeBlanc knows everything.
You must be another of Vladimir's revolting experiments.
Yeah, well, Briar literally is. Briar is one of those blood experiments, like what's his name? Scion. These are all like blood hemomancy experiments that the blood magic people of Noxus, including Vladimir, kind of created. Scion is one, Briar is another. That's why they feed on blood to survive.
Cassiopeia, you have sacrificed much for our cause. How much more are you willing to risk?
Cassiopeia is that snake lady. Like she's the one that went to Cassiopeia is right here. Let's not forget that she was sent to Shurima to uncover a weapon. She ends up going into the Tomb of Emperors, betraying Sivir, being bitten by a Tomb Guardian snake, and becoming literally like a Medusa type thing, which also leads to Azir's resurrection. So, thank you. You know, she did good. It would makes that Ram should be careful of LeBlanc. Look what she did to Atakan. She can twist demons to her will. Yeah, 100%. I mean, absolutely. Ram, I'm sure, is very aware of LeBlanc. Let's not like he is. Ram, I think, is above LeBlanc in terms of control over Noxus, right? Even though I know LeBlanc is controlling the people, but the fact that he's had so much time, like since the time of Mordekaiser, to direct and manipulate Noxus and build up the Immortal Bastion and whatnot. Ram is, and then now he has Swain, who's literally the Grand General of Noxus. Ram is definitely a player in Noxus, more than people are led to believe. But you're right that, like, I'm sure he sees LeBlanc as a threat. It's not like LeBlanc is just something like a regular person to him. But at the same time, I think LeBlanc underestimates Ram a little bit. There's Elise. Remember I told you guys she travels to and from the Shadow Isles? What does the Vilemore see?
What news from the Shadow Isles? What does the Vilemore see?
You talked about
your
that.
Your power grows, Mel. Let me help you unlock your true potential.
Man, that's literally... So that's another nod to Arcane when she's talking to Mel saying, for you, a dagger would do nicely. She really like downplays Mel's power.
You are only here because I permit it, Revenant. Remember that.
Rise. You know what happens to those who walk away from the Black Rose.
What is all this with Rise? You know what happens to those who walk away from the Black Rose. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out what the story of Rise with the Black Rose is. Rise. I don't know anything about. You have something that belongs to me, Rune Mage. You know what happens to those who walk away from the Black Rose. Tyrus was right about you. Okay, but that's just like a jab at Rise because Tyrus was his old master. Rise is technically Noxy. It's C, they acknowledge that. Him and Tyrus probably worked. What do you mean he's Noxus? I don't understand. What do you mean he's Noxus? He's literally from. I don't know if he's Noxus. The first time we see Rise is with him and Tyrus going to the Blessed Isles. They're living on the Blessed Isles. He's like a teenager. We were a part of the early Black Rose. I've been following League lore since the rewrites, and I didn't know I remember that. The more you know, kudos. Yeah, I don't know. The Ruination Tyrus found. I shouldn't go down the rabbit hole of Reddit. There's way too much trust me, bro, on Reddit. Perhaps Rise stole LeBlanc's world rune. Stolen? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if we know enough about. I don't know if they've revealed enough about it. We could speculate, but I don't think it doesn't seem like anyone else knows either. They're just like too much trust me, bro, on there. Forget the word sense, maybe. Yeah. It makes that realm should be, yeah. First move ally Rise. You know what happens to those who walk away from the Black Rose? Well, what happens to those who walk away from the Black Rose? They either end up dead or in a prison somewhere. I mean, Mel is just so powerful. That's the only reason that she's not dead at this point. Who from Rise has a connection to the Black Rose? He's got Tyrus, who was his teacher, and he's got what is it? Freaking the fire guy, Brand. He wasn't called Brand, but no, neither of those have connections to the Black Rose. I don't understand what the Rise stuff is.
It pains me to see you like this, Scion. You deserved better.
Yeah, well, she knew Scion in life. Don't forget, Scion was like a great warrior of Noxus. He's the one that killed, I think, King Jarvan II. And then he was dead for a while, and then they brought him back, using blood magic. So I could see, like, maybe she was friends with Scion. Maybe they had a friendship in life that now she feels a little bit bad for Scion. I could see that. She's not like heartless at the end of the day. LeBlanc doesn't care who gets in her way, but her goals are not really bad. They're really not. It's likely that LeBlanc had something to do with the Rune Wars. Was she even? Let's see. Timeline of Runeterra and there's like that page. I can pull it up if we can't find it here. Yeah, okay. That's it. Timeline of Runeterra. There's the First Lands, War of the Three Sisters, Westward Migration, Rise of the God Warriors, Akathia rebels against Shurima, Azir's failed ascension, the Great Darkin War. So we know she wasn't around for this. She comes around at the reign of the Iron Revenant, so she definitely was around for the Rune Wars, but not like the beginning, right? Yeah, she wasn't, not the beginning of it, but she's probably like came in. The Warlord Son of Zhao was reborn. Oh, wow. When's his first reign? That's the second reign of the Iron Revenant. But this is like a timeline by Noxus. I know there's like another timeline. So that's actually his second reign. Was she around? She wasn't around for the Darkin War. At the end of the day, she couldn't be because it seems like Vladimir is literally telling her about it. That'd be stupid if Vladimir's telling her about it. And like Vladimir's telling her, about the Darkin, but she was literally around for the Darkin War. So that wouldn't make sense. Western Migration, Reign of the Iron Revenant. But where's his first reign? It must be like maybe earlier. But regardless, the Iron Revenant came before the Rune Wars. So yeah, she saw the Rune Wars for sure. I don't know if she had something to do with the Rune Wars, but it's possible. It pains me to see you like this, Scion. I'm not sure. She has something. I think it has something to do with the world runes. She says you have something that belongs to me. Maybe she did. Maybe she did take one of the world runes.
Better. The people of Noxus see only their Grand General, but I know who is really in control.
Look at that. The people of Noxus see only their Grand General, but I know who is really in control. Who's really in control? Is she implying herself? Or is she implying Realm? Right? Is she implying like who's in control of the Grand General? The people of Noxus see only their Grand General, but I know who is really in control. Is she saying like who's really in control, like the Grand General is being controlled by Realm? Or is she saying I myself am in control of Noxus? It could go either way.
I grow weary of you, Vladimir. You should remedy that. My regards to the wolf. Pitiful creature. Almost too easy. Perhaps you're not the weapon I seek after all.
Look at that. She's seeking a weapon with one of the Darkin. We talked about how like she's probably looking for someone that she can control to pick up the Darkin Zaheen. She clearly has her eyes on obtaining a Darkin weapon, like a weapon that she can control and manipulate. And I think she's going to use Xin Zhao to do it. Let's pull up LeBlanc. Isn't she in here? Is LeBlanc not in Wild Rift? Wow, she's not. Wow, no LeBlanc. We'll pull up Swain. Or should I say Realm? Yeah, so I think an event on that scale will have her scheming print all over it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure LeBlanc had, I mean, it seems like at least when we see her cinematic where like the tendrils, whatever, where is it? It's like the root of an empire. We don't care about any of this, right? We care about this when the truth comes out.
For the centuries. Countless seeds I planted over the centuries.
She raises up the Noxians against the Iron Revenant.
They thrived in the shadows.
She defends them, right? She helps defend them during the Rune Wars.
Cultivating chaos as their roots grew stronger.
That's Scion. She saw Scion killing Jarvan II.
And deeper. I took a rabble of barbarians.
Yeah, I don't
and whispered to them dreams of empire.
She's such a good cinematic. Dang, it's such a good cinematic. Yeah, so during the Rune Wars, it seems like maybe she was occupied just defending like Noxus, keeping her city alive. But I don't think that would be her only plan. Like, you're right. LeBlanc during the Rune Wars, that'd be interesting to see. The master manipulator. And I'm sure that if she's her seeing that kind of power, absolutely LeBlanc's type of person to try to obtain it.
And where is your god now?
So that's Elise. She's taking a nod to Elise about the Vile Maw.
There is nothing more catastrophic to a kingdom than an empty throne.
Ooh, threatening.
So predictable, just like your mother.
Ooh.
Clearly, you did not learn from your mother's failings.
How many times must I destroy you, Revenant?
Tyrus was right about you. You showed such promise, Jericho Swain. What a waste. Well, your sisters will be upset by that, no doubt. Sleep now, little one. I will not give up on you.
What the frick? I'm not. Why is that black? Why is that grayed out? Sleep now, little one. I will not give up on you. Is it a kill next?
Immortal.
So it's definitely a kill. Or unless they just threw it here. It must be in her kill like section of voice lines. Sleep now, little one. I will not give up on you. I don't know who this could be to. Sleep. Sleep. Who's associated with like little one? Annie? Could this be like her killing Annie? I'm sure she'd see Annie as like a power that she would want to control.
Now, little one, I will not give up on you. Immortal and already outliving your usefulness. If not me, then who?
If I must become the whole world's villain, then so be it.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, she is like, LeBlanc is not bad. And she doesn't, I don't think she even sees her actions as bad. She sees her actions like a means to an end. She'll do whatever it takes to accomplish her goal, which at the end of the day, like stopping Mordekaiser from returning is not a bad thing.
You may be thinking that my face looks familiar. Perhaps you are right. Or perhaps not. I have a plan. I won't hesitate to leave you behind should you fail to play your part. It matters not whether you are my ally or my enemy. It is said that every rose has its thorns, but none are sharper than mine. Until you have witnessed both the beginning and the end of an era, your desultory opinions matter very little to me. They
And she has
call
such a
me
wide
cruel,
view.
indeed. From a mouse's perspective, even a lazy cat may be evil incarnate.
Man, that is freaking rough. They call me cruel, indeed. From a mouse's perspective, even a lazy cat may be evil incarnate. Man, she called us all like just little mice scurrying around. I love her for that quote. Which one? Hopefully not this one. This one is like, this one's just cussing us out. Boo ads. I have no control over ads. Happy birthday, dude. Yo, what the heck? Thanks. Thanks, Char. My birthday was yesterday. Samicus? Yo, thanks. Happy birthday, belated. Yo, thanks, bro. Thanks, Sam. Good morning, everyone. Happy belated. Oh, shoot. I must have gotten a host from Sam. Yeah, 59 viewers a few seconds ago. Thanks, Egg, for the follow. Thanks, AJ, for the sub on YouTube. Jeez. Thank you, guys. Happy birthday. Yo, thanks, guys. Thanks. We are covering LeBlanc the Deceiver, who is one of the most evil characters. Well, not really evil, but portrayed as evil. The Pentaquill quote. Oh, yeah, this one. They call me cruel. Indeed, from a mouse's perspective, even a lazy cat may be evil incarnate.
Nothing burns as hot as the need for vengeance, especially when it has been stoked for centuries.
Thanks, Lucius. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. It was a good birthday. Nothing burns as hot as the need for vengeance, especially when it has been stoked for centuries. And she wants vengeance definitely against Mordekaiser.
The difference between the truth and a lie can be confusing to some. What manner of flower may thrive without sunlight or sustenance? I know the answer. And soon, so shall all of Noxus.
What manner of flower may thrive without sunlight or sunset? It's not a rose, right? A rose can't survive. She's a part of the black rose. Can a rose survive without sunlight? I didn't think that was the case. Is that why they're called the black rose? That's an interesting. Can a rose survive without sunlight? I don't think so. Is there like a type of... No, a rose cannot survive. Well, I don't know. I guess she's just talking about herself.
My former master believed in destiny, domination, and deceit. Failing to realize the last would be his downfall. Do not trust someone who has never lost everything they care about. Incompetent leaders can easily be deposed. It is those who follow them who are the real problem.
Incompetent leaders can easily be deposed to those who follow. That's true. LeBlanc's all about like just deception within Noxus. Wait, happy late birthday, man. Hope you're all the success and prosperity. Yo, thanks, Gata. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Seriously, like, I appreciate it. That's so kind of you guys. Thank you. I mean, the black throat thrives in the shadows. That's true. I mean, a black rose technically isn't like something that occurs naturally in nature. So I guess the black rose is the one that survives in the darkness, right? Without sunlight or sustenance. So that makes sense.
Lies are like roses. Marvel too long at the bloom, and one may miss the thorns beneath. I am not looking for counsel. If I wanted a second opinion, I would simply ask myself. I remember when Noxii was a curse against those who dwelt beyond the sun's light. Typical Targonian hubris.
Whoa. I remember when Noxii was a curse against those who dwelt beyond the sun's light. Typical Targonian hubris. Happy birthday, man. Sorry, I must have missed you mentioned it. I didn't even mention it, Como. I just did a normal stream yesterday. I mean, yeah.
On the sun's light. Typical Targonian hubris.
Targonians are freaking hubris.
I took a rabble of barbarians and whispered to them dreams of empire. And look at them now. Insatiable. Unstoppable. Though the pieces move across the board, only a fool would expect the same tired strategies to yield different results. Do not judge someone for what they are, but rather by what they do and say. The pale woman is naught but a reflection of a people's deepest fears and insecurities.
She does use their
Bear
fears and
witness
insecurities
to
to
the
manipulate
fall of
them.
empires. Mortal vanity, undone by magic.
I don't know if we're going to see anything else in here.
I will not be held back by these meager defenses.
The main ones are the
This
interactions.
was not part of the plan. Know your place, demon. I could obliterate you,
Yeah,
Wade.
it is exhausting.
The truth in this plan, shop.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to
Out
see
of my way! Stand aside.
They speak so casually. The best lies are beautiful.
What's this one?
Just saved than spent. Vision,
Might.
might, guile. It's almost comical how history repeats itself.
Talking about like
They
the
speak so casually
Trifrix.
of tyranny and oppression. They do not know what I have endured. I'll make this quick. Lies within this upstart Trifrix.
The greatest threat to Noxus lies within this upstart Trifrix. So she thinks the greatest threat is within the Trifrix of Vision, Might, and Guile. And at the center of the Trifrix, Vision is at least one piece of it. It's Vision, which is, again, Swain, which we said is being controlled by a realm, which is the demon of secrets. It's her continually pointing out Swain, I think, is a big nod to the realm that I think controls Swain and how he's being manipulated by it.
I never asked for any of this, but I won't go back. Not now. Smoke and mirrors. Shadow and steel.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we got it all. I mean, we covered like the main stuff was her interactions. Listen, man, when it comes to LeBlanc, I have my biases. She's my favorite character in the universe. LeBlanc is a great character. I mean, if you're gonna pick a favorite, LeBlanc has so much lore. I really don't like how in Arcane they undermined LeBlanc's strength with the whole Mel thing. Completely destroyed her aura. Especially considering how long she's been alive and meant to be a prodigy. You're talking about like with Mel defeating LeBlanc in a way. I don't think Mel even defeated LeBlanc, right? She defeated like a ranged aspect of her. Like I don't think you got to remember LeBlanc is probably all the way in freaking Noxus when all this is happening, and she defeated like a spectral vision of her in all the way in Piltover and Zon. Mel's powerful, but I don't think like in a one-on-one fight that she would beat LeBlanc. In like an actual one-on-one fight, not just a vision of LeBlanc all the way in Piltover being like transmitted from freaking here in Noxus. So I think LeBlanc is definitely interested in Mel, but if LeBlanc wanted Mel dead, I think she'd be trying a lot harder. I don't think she wants Mel dead yet. At the end of the day, even when she's talking with Vladimir, right? Remember that cinematic? Vladimir, welcome to Noxus. I don't think she wants Mel dead yet. Let's just skip to here. I really don't.
Path seems to lead us closer to chaos. Perhaps we should focus on the opportunity that's washed up on our shores.
Perhaps we should focus on the opportunity that's washed up on our shores. So it's a discussion that they've had already. And I think she does see opportunity in Mel. And I don't think that she wants her dead at this point. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Maybe interesting, right? Yeah, I think if LeBlanc wanted Mel dead, thered be a lot more effort around it. A lot more pieces moving. But she seems like pretty comfortable just like letting Mel do what she wants and like watching her. To be fair, Arcane wasn't about LeBlanc, so it would make sense to not see much of her. Yeah, that's true too. She was kind of like... I think that where LeBlanc will... I don't think LeBlanc will appear in the next season. I do think that next Arcane is we're going to Demacia. I have like multiple videos on it now at this point. but we will touch on LeBlanc and Demacia again because of them infiltrating the Mage Seekers and corrupting Demacia from the inside. Is there anything here?
Rise. You know what happens to those who walk away from the
I think this
Black
is the same
Rose.
thing. Oh, this is all special interactions. Maybe we should just watch this video. Oh, this is like the moves.
Ambessa Madada, you owe a debt that cannot be paid with gold.
Yeah, we've seen all these. Special interactions.
I see. You must be maidenless.
Okay, let's see this. This is Yunara now. So Yunara voice lines. I wonder if anything points to my theory with Xin Zhao. Do you think that Nox's show will resurrect Mordekaiser and then we'll deal with him as the main antagonist? Yeah, I don't... So Mordekaiser, we're absolutely going to have to deal with him in the Riot MMO. No questions asked about that. Like, Mordekaiser will make an appearance. Mordekaiser is the biggest threat we have, guys. I really think Mordekaiser, as much as people like the character, he's overlooked in terms of his implications in Runeterra. Like, he built this. He built the Immortal Bastion, and I honestly think he built it the first time in his first life, and then rebuilt it again in his second life. So Mordekaiser dies, comes back, builds the Immortal Bastion even stronger, and I really think this is like siphoning souls to the Death Realm. We're going to have to deal with him in the Riot MMO at some point. He's going to be a raid boss. The freaking Mordekaiser cinematic. This is what I'm talking about. This is so telling to Mordekaiser's plan. One, he says, offering to our gods, and you could see a future vision of what the Immortal Bastion looks like today. This is what the Immortal Bastion is supposed to be. But then, like, you know, this is like olden times. He doesn't have the technology to freaking make this. So he makes a crude structure. Like a shape of it, but a crude structure. This is the shape that will allow him to, like, you know, it's an offering to his gods. But who's his god at the end of the day? Who do we know is at the center of the Immortal Bastion? Raum, the Demon of Secrets. That siphons souls from characters as they die. Which I think Raum is more like a god of death than Demon of Secrets. And you can see this structure here, which is in the Death Realm of Mitnaraknun, which looks exactly like the Immortal Bastion. Very, very similar in structure to the Immortal Bastion, like the jetting structure up with the gap in between. I bet if we could see maybe the other side, where is it? Where'd it go? I bet if we could see maybe the other side of this, there might be like another hand reaching up, but it's siphoning souls down into Mitnaraknun. And then what, he lets Mordekaiser live. Mordekaiser returns, right? Sanuzal returns as Mordekaiser. And what's the first thing he does? Like, for someone that apparently was betrayed by his god, right? Someone was betrayed by his god. Why would you go back and literally rebuild the structure that god told you to create? He rebuilt the Immortal Bastion, even more powerful now, and probably siphoning even more souls to Mitnaraknun. So Mordekaiser absolutely is going, and then he dies again, but that's all part of his plan, which is to go to Mitnaraknun and reign over his like realm of death, all these people that he killed. And Mordekaiser is going to return, and what's going to happen when he does is he's going to start killing people again, and I think then it's going to lead to the bigger threat of Realm. Oh man, I can't wait to go to Nox's MMO and look up at the Immortal Bastion. There's one shot that's like great of the Immortal Bastion, which is, I think it's at the end of this, is it? Or right here. Yeah. I love this shot. He like screams MMO to me. Right here. Look at the Immortal Bastion in the distance. This just like screams MMO. With the path winding all the way up, and you can see the Immortal Bastion in the distance, literally like a freaking skyscraper touching the clouds. This, I want to put this in my wallpaper. Honestly, I freaking might. I might like screenshot this. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. This might be my wallpaper. Yep. Yeah, that's a wallpaper right there. That's freaking pretty. Tallest structure MMO, by the way. Well, at least man-made structure, I think. Yeah. You know, like Man-made structure. Is there anything taller than it? No. 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 I don't think Frostguard Citadel is extremely tall. Tallest structure is Targon, but tallest man-made structure I think is actually the Immortal Bastion. I actually think you're right, Como. Even in Wild Rift background of the Immortal Bastion is amazing. I've never seen that. Oh, you're talking about like, oh, you're talking about in Wild Rift right now with what I've pulled up. Yeah, I agree. It's so imposing behind Swain. Yeah, if you're on here, if you're on PC, I can show you guys that really quick. Let me just hide the news/lore stuff. There you go. You can see that Immortal Bastion behind Swain, all cooking up in fire and smoke. Yeah. Yeah, that Wild Rift background for Immortal Bastion is also great. All right, let's see these Yunara voice lines. See if we can pull anything. Let's see.
Master Kennen, surely this isn't how you intend to greet an old friend. What?
I think her and Kennen are going to have a lot of problems. I really think that because it's just like they're too separate in their ideologies at this point. Like Yunara is not a passive Kinku. Kennen really destroyed the Kinku Order in my opinion. Kennen took the Kinku Order and made it so pacifist that they're not even like really fighters anymore. They're just like, oh, it's like someone could be killing freaking everyone and the what's it called? The Kinku Order will be like, oh no, but we're only here to maintain the balance between the spirit realm and the material realm. They're just way too pacifist, and they weren't like that before. During the Darkin War, the Kinku Order was front lines at the time of Yunara, but Kennen just kind of honestly gutted it. I think Kennen is not good for the Kinku Order. I wonder if there's anything around the main city of Noxus, like, is it barren, or is it like Demacia with little villages and Argent Mountains? I think that around the Immortal Bastion is, I mean, probably like very plain land, but I'm sure like this is not great farmland. I think like that's why Noxus really wanted probably the Dalmor Plains and stuff expanded out, because I mean, look how like sanded and rugged this area looks. I don't think it's as, I remember there's something about Noxus. Was it with one of the Darkin that like new irrigation techniques? Like it used to be unhospitable land. Let me see. Darkin in Legends of Runeterra. One sec. And then we'll go back to these voice lines. Yeah, right here. Naganeka. The steeps of Eastern Valoran were known to be barren. The steeps of Eastern Valoran were known to be barren, which is, these are the steeps of Eastern Valoran. So they were barren land. Unfit to feed or home Noxi people. But as the centuries fell by, a new empire was founded, hungry for expansion. Fallow lands found new fertility under new farming techniques, and weapons once thought safely buried became uncovered once again. So, yeah, it's not the best land for farming, but they've found a way. It's mostly plains, but there are some villages here and there. Yeah, like Annie's village. So what has become of the Kinku? Why does the heart of the Tempest now stand still? Look at her next line. She's literally like cussing out Kennen. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? What has become of the Kinku Order? Why does the heart of the Tempest now stand still?
What has become of the Kinku? Why does the heart of the Tempest now stand still? I will seal you away once more.
Yeah,
spilling your
I will seal you away once more, because she was with she allied herself with Zaheen and sealed, you know, Darkin like Cain. Wow, why is the name escaping me? Zolani and Varys. So she's sealed Darkin in the past.
Pugnant blood feeds my sea of retribution, fallen one. There will be no mercy, no absolution. Not for you. Karma, I knew you in a past life. I had hoped we could see eye to eye in this one.
That's a good one. Well, Karma's not as pacifist as as the Kinku Order nowadays, but the eye to eye is really interesting. I gotta read up on Karma's lore more. I don't know too much about like Karma's lore overall. I know how she interacts with the Ionians and where she plays in the Ionia like space, but I need to like read her biography fully and read Karma's story. Remember Me. You know what? Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I'll make like the articles for it. We're in Ionia. Karma should be a big part of it. So we'll do that tomorrow. We're talking Karma tomorrow. Be ready for that.
Life. I had hoped we could see eye to eye in this one. You must be from the Temple of Koyan. Thrilling to see such a place still stands.
You must be from the Temple of Koyan. Thrilling to see such a place still stands. We know Hui's temple no longer exists. So she's about to find that out. Actually, Kahara Jin destroyed it. So it was still standing maybe probably like a year or two before this.
Adapting art and ritual for war. Incredible to see which traditions prevail. To serve no one is to let your self-importance master you, Akali. It breaks my...
To serve no one is to let your self-importance master you, Akali. Man, you know, honestly, Yunara's a wise one. That's one of the things about Akali is she's like very entitled.
It breaks my heart to see what the people of the First Lands did to you.
Syndra? What? Wait. Oh. What am I saying? So Syndra was the one that was imprisoned by the magical land of by the land itself of Ionia imprisoned her within the dreaming pool. But really, I mean, Syndra wasn't bad to begin with, but she was like blamed for a lot of stuff as a child. You know, her brother and them threw stones at her. Syndra was powerful. Her magic was powerful, but her childhood is what led her to be, you know, evil in a way. So, yeah, so it is the people of the First Lands that caused Syndra to go down the path of like darkness. Syndra could have been a good person. I don't understand. Why does the Kinku still refuse to fight with Karma herself? Aren't they like supposed to be doing what the spirit of Ionia would want? Yeah, so the Kinku Order used to be like about balance, but balance in all things, not just what they've been limited to nowadays. Nowadays, they're like pacifist. They only balance between the spirit realm and the material realm. And the reason for that is because Zed's dad really like, I don't know if it was him directly, but he really pushed for the ideals of, you know, balance between the material and the spirit realm and not like, so for example, Kahara Jin is running around shooting people, turning them into trees. The Kinku Order would not intervene in that because it's not actually the balance between the spirit realm. If he was a demon, they would intervene, but not between they've like separated themselves from the mortals. So like Noxus attacking the First Lands, it's bad, but it's not like disrupting the balance between the material realm and the spirit realm, right? Until it does that, will they intervene? It's like, I forgot, man, how it became like that. It was like, would the master, it said something in the comic, Zed comic. Yeah, let me go forward. Yeah, freaking, this is why Zed gets pissed, is because his like, all these people were freaking getting killed by Kahara Jin, I think. Or was it Kahara Jin? Like this, yeah, it was. It's Kahara Jin. Kills all these people. They help out. You've done well, student. Better today than ever. Even my own son. So this is Shen as a boy. He still hesitates or falters like a child. You do not. Yeah. Shen is his son. Zed is like a student. Not Zed's father. I meant Shen's father. Where is it? Issue 2. There's a scene with it. Yeah, right here, I think. Yep. Okay, there's Shen pulls up. Time to die. Here, look. Look, Zed is literally about to kill Karajin here. Bastard. No. He needs to die, Master Kusho. No, Usan. We will take him to Tula prison. He is not a demon, Usan. He is a man. What if he gets away? He knows about... I am the Eye of Twilight. We are the Kinku. This is not what we do. We are the balance between the worlds of spirits and men. Outside of our duty to the balance, it is not for us to judge or kill. We must not pollute that task, no matter the cost. I feel like Kennen's been around for a long time, and I think he slowly distorted the Kinku order to be only about the balance between the material realm and the spirit realm of men, rather than like protectors of the world as well. Like Yunara would have no problem freaking just wiping the floor with Karajin. And she would not like let him just walk away because, oh, he's a man and we need to be pacifists. But that's been like the Kinku order used to be much more violent and like they used to be fighters, warriors. Now they're like freaking monks, but to an extreme. The thing is, Nox's attacks did disrupt the balance when they burned and killed because they damaged. They did to the land will create countless Azakana and the sorrow and destruction. That's so they did destroy. They did affect the balance of the first lands, but I don't know if they affected the balance between the spirit realm and the material realm. Do you know what I mean? Like they affected the balance in Ionia itself, like the balance of the land itself, but I don't know if they affected the balance between the spirit realm and the material realm. I think that's something that's like a distinction that they make. Right, because sure, more Azakana will appear because of the sorrow people are feeling. At the end of the day, demons feed on negative emotions like regret, sorrow, misery, pain. There was a lot of that during the Noxian invasions. Ionia, the spirit realm, is already the veil between the material and spirit realm is already thin, and so of course, like with the invasion, there's going to be more demons pouring through just because of like the heightened emotions of the whole thing. Them chopping down trees and stuff like that. But did they truly affect the balance between the material realm and the spirit realm, or did they just affect the balance in Ionia? That's what I think the distinction is, which is why the Kinku order is just still pacifist. I don't agree with the Kinku order, but it's just how they think that's wrong now. I think Yunara is going to be like very disappointed with what they've become.
Perhaps your wayward protege was right to call you a spineless coward.
Your wayward protege. Oh, Akali. So Akali's always calling him a coward because he didn't fight for Ionia. He doesn't like do anything beyond the balance. So look, I always said I wanted to see her interaction with Shen, and she's already like first meeting's like, what the hell's wrong with you? Here's Shen. Let me pull him up. Shen. I pulled him up on where's this? Can I just go like this? Let's see. Yeah. There's Shen. So wait. Her first encounter with him is like, you're a spineless coward.
7 lenses. You must be from Wuju. I can smell the contents of your flask from where I stand. Your mask. Which of the fallen do you serve, swordsman?
Ooh, she thinks that he's... Which of the fallen do you serve? So before in the cinematic, the Shrine Maiden, right? The followers of the Darkin were wearing masks. The Shrine Maiden.
The first lands fell into chaos.
Yeah, look at all these people wearing masks.
That they would have forsaking their principles.
You can see everyone here. All these people that were serving the Darkin were wearing masks. Yeah. So it looks like the people that were serving the mask. That's why her automatic assumption seeing Yone is like, which of the Darkin do you serve?
You've kept our techniques alive. Commendable. I'm sorry the spirit has left.
Look at it. She commends Zed and she scorns Shen. Zed, you've kept our techniques alive. Commendable. So Zed's using more of the techniques of the Kinku Order than Shen does. Shen, her first encounter with Shen is like, perhaps your reader protege was right to call you a spineless coward. She approaches Zed and says, you've kept to our techniques alive, commendable. And I would say that Yunara is more closer to the original Kinku Order ideology than Shen is today. Yeah, I think Yunara should go and look for Yone. He'd be more help for her, in my opinion. She doesn't know the man. Yeah, she just saw his mask and immediately jumped on him.
Commendable. I'm sorry the spirit has left you, monk. Further trials await you, Xin Zhao, but you have not been found worthy. When the last spirit blossom falls and our communion ends, is it a second death for our visiting ancestors?
I just remember that voice line from LeBlanc saying, the spirit blossoms fall, the black rose rises. Is it a second death for our visiting ancestors?
Vastaya, the people of this world owe your ancestors a great debt.
Yeah, because the Vastaya Shirei stopped the Great Titan War. They fought the Titans to end the Great Titan War, which would have destroyed the world of Runeterra. The reason they were able to stop it is by mortals taking the power of the spirit realm into themselves, becoming Vastaya Shirei. You can see that in like the Vastaya family tree. Vastaya family tree. So yeah, mortals took the power of the spirit realm into themselves. To become Vastaya Shirei, to fight off the Titans. And then they, mated with humans, and that's where Vastaya come from. So that's what she's nodding to.
The first lands fought off the Darkin. So how did we nearly fall to your empire?
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, she's really, I feel like she feels like Ionia has become way too pacifist. Way too, we don't want to fight anything. Way too about, like, she's more on the side of Zed than she is on Shen's side.
To your empire. Return to the nightmare whence you came. I am your undoing. Loathsome, broken.
Who did she say return to the nightmare from whence you came? Atakan, return to the nightmare from whence you came. The nightmare of Xin Zhao's nightmare that he had? I still think Xin Zhao's vision was from LeBlanc. That could be implying like the nightmare of that he got from LeBlanc.
Turn to the nightmare whence you came. I am your undoing. Loathsome, broken thing. You never could recognize when you were outmatched, Rost.
Ooh, she doesn't even call him Kane. She just calls him Rost. And she did imprison Rost with Zaheen.
Those who stand alone are easily crushed. I promised I would stop you if you lost your way.
Wow, guys. I promised I would stop you if you lost your way. I've been saying this. She does not agree with Kennen. She's literally saying, I promised I would stop you if you lost your way, implying that Kennen and the Kinku Order have lost their way. Almost a quote verse Nocturne. Yeah, if the other one where she's talking to Zed. Wow. I promised I would stop you if you lost your way.
Eyes turned to the heavens, oblivious to the perils of this realm.
Man, that really sounds like Morgana talking to Kale. Really, because Morgana's always telling Kale, like, your light blinds you to the mortals and stuff like that. Wow, she really is disappointed. She's really disappointed in the Kinku Order and Kennen and Shen. Do you think Riot will make a whole cinematic universe like Arcane, introducing more and more champions, or continue the story of Arcane characters in different parts of Runeterra? 100%. It's already happening. I have videos on it right now where I talk about the next story is likely going to be Demacia for the Arcane. There's a live action going on in Bilgewater. There's not just going to be a new series. There's going to be movies too. They're creating a whole cinematic universe. There's a lot of stuff in the works for that's going to continue the story of Arcane. Yeah, no, it's coming. There's a lot more coming. Look at my old videos. You can see like the Demacia stuff. And I have a video covering like Demacia lore for Arcane as well. I do think Demacia is next.
A blemish upon your lineage. May something of worth rise in its place. Rejoice! I got them! Your twilight has ended! Suffer an endless night! So hungry. Manners. Who is it that will protect you from my ire?
I don't know if there's anything
So
else here.
ornery. Have you eaten? What an honor it is to make your acquaintance, child of the First Lands. What providence that we have been reunited after... Kennen.
Wait, there's another. What providence that we've been reunited after Kennen?
How long have I been away?
A long time.
You... again? I will deal with you later, Bo.
Because the bow.
There are more pressing matters to attend to.
Because remember, she imprisoned Varys as well. Which series of movies are you most excited for, knowing so much about the lore? Ooh. Okay, I want to answer that. I'm going to answer that after this. Because I think that, that deserves some time. But I'll go through it. There are some quotes that are hypothetical and would never happen. But they add them just for gameplay purposes. Like the one with Kennen. I don't think he did lose his way. At least not yet. Oh, I think Kennen lost his way a long time ago. And he's been like distorting the view of the Kinku Order for so long. I mean, I freaking hate it. Look at Kennen in this cinematic, guys. The pilgrimage. I think Kennen is lost. Kennen is really lost. Look at this. He comes here, he's explaining himself. He's like...
And yet, there it is. As we sailed east, I heard many strange things. Whispers that magic is rising everywhere. What if the blossoms are a sign of something more? A change in...
Careful, traveler.
What?
Saying things like that could get you in a lot of trouble.
Like already opposing freedom of speech. Like he's just questioning. All he did was say, what if the blossoms are a sign of something more? A change in, like, something's changing. Maybe we should pay attention to it. Kennen freaking cuts him off.
Of something more.
Cuts him off. Oh, careful, traveler. That could get you in a lot of trouble. Threatening him.
A lot of trouble.
Yeah.
You are of the Kinku Order?
Indeed. And I am most curious to know why you have brought a weapon into this holy festival. Why don't we take a stroll together, Xin Zhao of Rikon?
Look at him. Like, just immediately, by the way, we're all pacifists here. You don't need your weapon in this holy festival, which is fine. But the fact that he cut him off so abruptly and just said, careful, traveler. Like, I don't want anyone to hear what you're about to say. Like, no, I think Kennen isn't just lost. Like, he's been lost for a while.
Zhao, we must cleanse this land of our enemies once more. Zaitalo, once more, I must wield the sacred Aeon Erna for the First Lands. From the past to the future, 2 worlds, a second chance. May the Kanmei walk with me. There are countless people in this world. Surely some of them are worth knowing. Oh, hello. It is ill luck to leave for battle without making plans for the future. We shall gather for tea, yes? A moment. Gailaka Kanmei Haifan. You have been blessed. I once vowed to preserve balance, to prune the tree, to strike from the shadows, and deliver judgment.
Look, I once vowed to preserve balance, to prune the tree, to strike from the shadows, and deliver judgment. It wasn't just balance of the spirit realm to the material realm. It was balance in all things. It was more like a monk, is what the Kinku Order was. But then they like got distorted and so focused on this balance between the material and spirit realm that they neglected their other duties.
I know not if I am still fit to prune the tree. If too much is cut, a tree weakens. Nonetheless, my vow is unshakable.
Yeah, so maybe Yunara has gone too far the other way, right? That's a pretty good one. Like to prune a tree is to cut too much is to the tree weakens. So, you know, there has to be a balance even between Yunara and Shen. Like there needs to be a middle ground.
Between all the days that have passed and all those yet to come, it is fortuitous we fight together this day. Myth is to culture as conflict is to life. They reveal what people have deemed most important. It's arrogant to believe the Kinku or anyone really understands what they disrupt in pursuit of balance.
Ooh,
The
what they disrupt in
War
pursuit
of the
balance.
False Conmay, a name bestowed by those who know nothing of which they speak. Time, a silent, unavoidable destruction, reducing even the most formidable warriors to nothingness. Ruinous determination. We meet in kind. Had we met under more auspicious circumstances, perhaps we would fight as one, or not at all.
Friend
or foe, hinder me not. How curious.
I don't know if
I
there's
do not
anything else.
understand your modern ways. Raren gang. Hope that
Wow,
helps.
there's a lot of Ionian
You should have
phrases.
considered your actions. I wonder, what did they fight for? Another branch pruned. Brought here by your own misstep was my only reprieve from endless...
It seems my time in exile it seems that time in exile was my only reprieve from endless turmoil. Powers us all. I don't think there's anything else here. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else here. We got all the good lines. So let's go to the question. Which series / movie are you most excited for knowing so much about the lore? Okay. So as I said before, the question is, which series / movie am I most excited for knowing as much as I do about the lore? Which I do know a lot of freaking lore. I'll say that. It's a degenerate level of lore. It really is. I do think the next story is going to be going to Demacia. That's the next like Arcane series. There's a live action that's coming out that they're working on that's going to be set in Bilgewater. I think Jinx could easily end up in either one. We know Jinx is alive post Arcane. She's going to be traveling. She could travel to Bilgewater. There was a whole story actually that they cut out during that time skip that talks about Jinx going to Bilgewater. There's actually Bilgewater characters in the show Arcane. Those two characters that are trading with like the Buhru coin in season 1. And we see Jinx flying over an ocean at the end of Arcane. And so she's either flying towards Bilgewater, which would be great to see that story play out, or she could be flying left and end up in Demacia. And I think her and Lux could interact pretty well because Lux has her problems with her brother, right? And their disagreements, and Jinx had problems with her sister Vi, and they could maybe find like some association there. I think Jinx fits better in Bilgewater, the lawlessness of Bilgewater, compared to like the strict adherence in Demacia. Like it'd be funny to see Jinx, she just got out of jail, helped defend Piltover and Zahn, only to likely end up in a jail again in Demacia. So that's my only thing about would she end up there. So I think Jinx is more likely to perhaps go into the live action in Bilgewater, and will continue the series of Arcane in Demacia. Now, what am I most excited for? Like, where do I think is most likely like a great place to go? Ishtal doesn't have a lot of lore. At the end of the day, Ishtal like is like an isolated jungle. That's the main thing about it. The most interesting about it is Skarner underneath, experiencing like the what's it called? Like the thrums of the world and whatnot. And so him being under there, I think is going to be a world boss eventually. So Skarner is pretty interesting. Shurima I would include with Acathia and the Void. Shurima is very interesting with the Tomb of the Emperors, the Psychalik with Rek'Sai. That's all cool. There's a ton of raid potential in Shurima. Its ties into Targon with the Sun Disk. You know, the ties with Acathia and the Void. And if you're going to tie in Acathia, then you've got to go explore what's his name? Why am I forgetting it? Zillion. So there's so much story there in Shurima. I think Shurima would be very good. Mount Targon could be great with Aurelian Soul. With the Lunari and the Solari, you can tie in Demacia with Taric. Morgana and Kael come from Targon with their mother Mahida. So I like Targon. Bilgewater I feel like is just way too piratey. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but the most interesting thing about Bilgewater isn't above land, it's actually below sea. I think that the harrowings are not just affecting above land, but the sea monsters as well, and I think the sea monsters are much more intelligent than we believe. The Buhuru people are very interesting, but like, is there enough there to get me like super excited about a story? I don't know. I think it's good, but not like amazing. The Shadow Isles with the Blessed Isles is a great story with Viego. I feel like the thing I like the most about the Shadow Isles isn't the Shadow Isles either. It's like the Camivore and the Independent Lands over here to the right side. So the stuff that we're not seeing, where Viego came from. The Blessed Isles were a nice place, you know, very knowledgeable, studious people, you know, held on to a lot of like artifacts. The weapons of the Sentinels of Light come from the Blessed Isles, the ones you don't even have triggers, but like your will shoots them. So I like the Shadow Isles and the Blessed Isles. It's a good one. Ionia has a ton of history as well, with all the way back to the Titan War. They're literally called the First Lands because everyone seems to come from there. Ionia has the most characters, which is just goes to show how much the team at Riot really loves Ionia. They keep making new characters. I mean, they have the most characters out of any zone in Runeterra, bar none. They've got a lot of Darkin. That's where all the demons come from. The demon lore is super interesting. The disagreements between Shen and Zed, the Kinkou Order, and the Order of Shadows, I think is really good. Syndra is a great story. You have all the spirit trees with Lilia. You have Mr. Root, who's like a spirit tree seed. Yeah, there's a dreaming tree which is being infected by fiddlesticks. Yeah, there's so much lore. Ivern comes from the Freljord. There's so much lore in Ionia. But a lot of people already know this about me. It's not Noxus. I like Noxus, but Noxus and Demacia, they're equal to me. They're kind of like, they go hand in hand together, and you can't tell one without the other. Their stories are good. I think that the most interesting story in Noxus is Raum and the Immortal Bastion, and I think Raum is manipulating Mordekaiser way more than we're led to believe, and he is like really the manipulator of Noxus, and that him being a demon of secrets is actually not true. He's like way more than that. Demacia, the Mage Seeker story is good, but the best stories in Demacia are around the Arcane Fist and the Green Fang Mountains, the demons Fiddlestick and Nocturne and Frostbarrow. It's like the smaller stories, the witch that's turning people into harpies somewhere over here. There's a lot of good stories in Demacia, but not enough there to get me like super excited. Nothing would ever get me more excited than the Freljord. Nothing. Absolutely, there's no better lore in all of Runeterra than the Freljord. Bar none, no questions asked. The Freljord goes all the way back as one of the oldest nations in Runeterra with the Three Sisters. You've got trolls, you've got yetis, you've got demigods like Ornn and Volibear, you've got the Ursine who is loyal to Volibear, you've got a Spirit Walker shamans like Udyr, you've got Ashe, Sejuani, and Lysandra all fighting in a three-way war. You got Anivia who gave the heart of the Freljord to the yetis. You've got the freaking ice melting underneath them with the Watchers sealed in true ice in the Eye in the Abyss. Look at this, holding back the darkness. A key points throughout the Howling Abyss, which by the way may have been dug by Ornn, at least according to the stories. It was dug by Ornn. It's like a massive cavern. Gigantic spiked barricades of stone and iron were set into the walls by the Frostguard many thousands of years ago. One day when the Watchers reawaken, these meager defenses may buy some precious time for those above to prepare for the final battle. That's Frostguard Citadel. These are mortis stones. They drop those down. This is the Eye in the middle of the Abyss. The largest known of the Watchers. This particular beast is known as the Pierce Eye, ever since it was skewered with titanic mortis stones dropped from the fortress high above. I mean, guys, not comparable. The tribe on the move, raiders and reavers. Look at this. What even is this creature's beast riders? In spite of its harsh and unforgiving climate, the Freljord is home to a wide variety of fantastical fauna particularly suited to life there. The Winter's Claw do not tame or coddle their mounts, but encourage the creature's wild and aggressive survival instincts even as they take the reins. I mean, what the frick am I even looking at? It's like a creature made of ice. I feel like the Freljord is the perfect combination of magical and dark fantasy into one place. Frostguard Citadel, which by the way is over here. This is Frostguard Citadel. That's where Lysandra sits, and I think that this bridge is actually the bridge over the Howling Abyss, so the Howling Abyss would be right there. This is the Ursine lands. That's where all the Ursine come from, who are loyal to Volibear, that big bear guy. And even if we go into like the... Where is this? If we go into the Call of Power, you can see that up here is actually where facing the Void. This is where Rise comes in contact with the Frozen Watcher and they fight over a world rune. Far beyond the known lands of Valoran, in the deepest, darkest spaces beneath the world, servants of the mythical Watchers are drawn to the power of the world runes. And so I think we'll eventually explore this place as well. A lot of people ask, like, do I think there's a north and south pole? I actually get that question a lot. It depends if Piltover, if the world of Runeterra is on the same axis as Earth. So we know Earth is like rotating, right? Like this. And that's why we have a north and south pole, because those are the farthest places from the sun. The sun's hitting the Earth, and then the North Pole and the South Pole are farther away from the sun than like the center, which is why the hottest areas are equator. That if Runeterra operates more at a slant, then that means the South Pole is actually always the hottest, and the North Pole is actually always the coldest, and almost always very dark. Like very rarely does it get sun. Like the days are probably like a couple hours, if that. So because it's always tilted, that would mean that there is no South Pole, that Acacia would be the South Pole, and anywhere south of Acacia would just be hotter. It's very possible that they could have like a whole world and a South Pole and all that stuff, but it doesn't have to be. Depends how the world rotates on its axis. Yeah, nowhere is better than the Freljord. If I really thought Piltover and Noxus had the weakest lore, or Piltover and Zon had the weakest lore out of anywhere in Runeterra. Going into Arcane, I couldn't believe that they chose Arcane to be in Piltover and Zon, especially Piltover. Yeah, when I started learning the lore, I was like really interested in Ishtal, Shurima, Freljord right off the bat. Ionia, I think, was my favorite at the start until I learned about the Freljord. But Piltover, I thought, was the worst. Imagine Rise collects all the Infinity Stones and finds a new power when they are collected. A snap of the fingers defeats the Void. I mean, you know how close... You know Rise is like extremely close to having all the world, and he's only missing one. Rise, Call of Power. He's only missing one world rune at this point. Collect one more. Okay. Here are the world runes that he has. He's got 4. World runes. Legends of Runeterra. So here are all the world runes. There's the Shard of Madness, which is purple. You can see that one right there. There's the Shard of Betrayal, which is green. You can see that one. The Shard of Violence, which is red, right there. There is the Shard of Hope and the Shard of Reverence. Shard of Reverence is like a yellow one. That one's right there on the left. And so the last one that he doesn't have is the Shard of Hope. That's the only one that he's missing. Love, a fog that blinds the reason. Rise, watched as one king. This is like talking about the scene that he's singing here. But yeah, that's the last one that he's missing, is the Shard of Hope. The rest he has. The rest he has. And it'll go right there. And that's in Demacia. He's actually storing them on like some temple underneath a world tree. Underneath a petricite tree. Jinx is the reason for them to choose what is essentially her story to make a show on. She is the face of the franchise after all. Yeah, that's true. I think that even they said it when they were creating the actual story. They said that they created... Where is it? They said that they chose... They looked for character stories. Something that's grounded in character stories. But I think you could have done that anywhere. Like Demacia, you could focus on the story between Lux and Garen and then jump into like the fantastical stuff. Same with Noxus, right? The hardest place to do that probably would be Ionia, just because of the Vastaya are everywhere and the demons are everywhere. It's like hard to center a story on just characters. Like even if you go to like Zed and Shen, you're still gonna be touching on some fantastical stuff, right? Like who can you touch on here that doesn't have some kind of magical effect to them? Huey's literally got a magic paintbrush. Set is a Vastaya. It'd be really hard. I don't know if you could do that with Ionia. Would be the hardest. You'd have to start maybe with Yasuo and Yone. People can relate to that before Yone becomes like a freaking demon hunter. Yeah, I don't see anyone else. Yeah, you have to start with Yasuo and Yone, or you can start with Zed and Shen before they become like before Shen becomes leader of the Kinko Order and Zed becomes leader of the Order of Shadows. But even then. Yeah, Ionia would be the hardest. I think Freljord, you could still start like with Ashe and Sejuani and give you that Viking vibe, as well as Tryndamere before he gets, you know, you could change the lore a little bit where Tryndamere, maybe you show him like before he becomes corrupted by Aatrox. Stay away from like Trundle and Udyr and the gods are off like, you know, in the distance, you don't see them. It'd be easier. But I think that there's a reason they're going to like Demacia and Bilgewater because both of those are really easy to start with character stories first compared to other regions. I see that those are the only two other ones that are pretty... Noxus, Demacia, Piltover, Zaun, and Bilgewater are the two easiest to start grounded in character stories. Like just regular people living out regular lives. People can relate to even if they don't want to like, don't care about like Runeterra lore. I hope that's the finale at the last season of the MMO when we fight the Watchers, and the only way to deal damage to them is to use all 5 pieces of Exodia. Man, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a great show. What about Syndra's storyline? Syndra is the freaking end boss of Ionia. I already made, if you go to Riot Grove, go to End Grove, get rid of these. Top 10 potential Ionia raid bosses. I put Syndra at number 1. Syndra is going to be a world boss for sure, or end boss for sure. She is like the threat in Ionia. The literal land itself had to rise up to stop her. She's extremely powerful. I think we'll start the MMO with her sleeping in the dreaming pool, and then she'll wake up. We'll have to deal with her. Man. Freaking Runeterra lore is so good, guys. People don't even know. People don't even know. Like, what do we have? We had like that, let me go to it. It's by Ghostcrawler. Did you guys see this? Ghostcrawler. Where is Ghostcrawler? Ghostcrawler. Riot Mo. Pull him up. Greg Street. Ghostcrawler. I don't know why he didn't come up. Okay. Okay. Big Town talking. The locals are incensed because the new bank had to ask anyone would need a loan for heifers. Well, I don't know what this one is, but it's this one right here. I wanted to share some news. Fantastic Pixel Castle. This was the MMO that Greg Street went to work on post the Riot MMO. He was like heading the charge in the Riot MMO. But they were like, we're going to make our own MMO. This was it. Fantastic Pixel Castle. FPC is a new studio founded in 2023 to create our take on a modernized fantasy MMORPG, codenamed Ghost. If you're interested in our studios, more context below. If you care about Ghost, we totally get it. You can jump to it here. Ghost, our game, our goals for Ghost, the world of Ghost, and the conflicted of their shard lands, like stuff like that. Multitudes of classes. We're here. How can I play? I think it's like they're talking about like when, yeah. So They were creating an MMO. Here's some news. Combat and whatnot. NetEase Games has been gracious and supportive of looking for another publisher for our game. However, in the current market environment, very few deals are getting made for any game, let alone something on the scale of an MMORPG. We're doing everything we can to find a publisher or investor. At the same time, we're encouraging our team members to explore future opportunities and supporting them through the uncertainty. If we're unable to find a publisher soon, the reality of the studio would likely close, and the entire team, leadership included, would be affected. We want to thank the Ghost community, our playtesters, and literally hundreds of people who have given advice on how to find funding in this absurdly challenging time for our industry. I hope you all will have a chance to play Ghost. I also want to thank the FPC team who has made a game that we all should be proud of. I know it's cliche to say this, but demonstratably, this is the best team I've ever worked with. We are rigorous in collecting data, and the data on our team morale and performance is higher than I have ever seen. Despite the challenges, the past 2 years have been the most satisfying years of my career. #thread. Yeah. So it looks like the MMO is going to be is done. I had a friend. Oh yeah, Necrit made a video on that. Sad news. Yeah, he did. I saw it on when I went to YouTube today. It was recommended to me. Is the never-ending story of that list? Yeah, the never-ending story of MMOs being canceled. Yeah, I don't think the MMO will be canceled, but yeah, the MMOs are not a small thing to pursue. I have a friend who got me to play WoW, and he was never a fan of Riot Games. He knew that there was an MMO in the works, but he had no idea about the lore. He thought it was superficial. Yeah, no, the lore, Runeterra lore is deep. People just don't know it because there's no reason to care about it yet. It's hard to care about the lore without something like an MMO, where the lore literally helps you predict the future story. Knowing the lore will help tell you where you're going. You know, if we're in Demacia and Noxus, and the next expansion's coming out, or the next raid is coming out, you'll have a better idea of where that next expansion or raid is going to be based on the lore, right? Who's the next raid boss? All that stuff becomes important. And then plus you're a character in the world. You're a part of the world. So now the world matters to you. The world doesn't matter. Where is this? No, not right. I typed in my website. Does the world matter to someone playing League of Legends? Absolutely not. Does the world matter to someone playing TFT? No. Legends of Runeterra? That's the most you could say maybe, but not really. It's still a card game. Wild Rift? Absolutely not. Riftbound? Not really. I mean, maybe, I guess. It's just a card game. It's hard. You could not care about the world. It won't matter to you. 2XKO? No, it doesn't matter. The only time a world matters, its lore, is when you're actually a part of that world. And the only time you're going to be a part of that world is in a game like an MMO or a RPG style game. And they're making an MMO. So until that comes out, people aren't going to care about the lore. I had to sit him down and show him the works. He was speechless. Yeah, the second I talk to people, I'm like, guys, you have no idea how deep the Runeterra lore goes. They freak out. They're like, wait, what's all this? Hold on, they have this whole world built out? Wait, all these places, the characters are tied to these different places that are actually from the world and they have stories within it? I'm like, yes. Runeterra has a whole world, but it's just not explored yet because they have no titles or games that really make you care about the world at all. Good stuff, Mohib. Keep spreading the message, bro. Yeah, honestly. You catch the new comic that just released? What individual? What are you talking about? I have to drop, guys. Individual, I feel like you always come in the last second. You just, oh, you want to go get to work? Hold on. And you just flick a little noodle at me. You just say, hey, take a look. And then I end up having to take a little bit more time. Runeterra Universe. I don't know why I called it a noodle, but comics. What new comic? Comic series, one-shots, universe, Champions, Regions, Alt Universe, Explore, Search. Where is this new comic? Is there a new comic? I don't see a new comic. Motion comic? You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Hold on. Hold on. I mean, I'm sure freaking Skin Spotlight already has it out, but I'm not gonna watch it on there. I'd rather watch it in the game. Spin spotlights, videos, Zaheen voice reveal, the warning. Let me see if my meeting got canceled. Please be canceled. Please be canceled. Let's freaking go. It's like the stars aligned. No freaking way. Okay, well, we're going till 9:30, boys. The stars aligned, my friends. It's on the Skin Spotlight YouTube. Yeah, I'd rather watch it in the game, but we could just watch it here. Whatever. I feel like I'd rather click through it because then I can pause more in the actual game, you know? Oh my gosh, it looks awesome. It looks awesome. We're going to do it right now, guys. We're doing it right now. I clicked play. You know, I could like pause in this. Let me get the right NLC. Is this it? Wait, where is it? Not that. Wild Rift, iPad, Chrome, Switch, lower corner. How do I make it big? I thought I had one already set up with the iPad. No. I thought I had one set up, but I guess not. Let me make it, I'll just make it bigger. Hold on. Wait, where is it anyways? Oh my gosh, is it on the PBE? Is that why? Is that how they pulled it up early? I don't think they usually don't put that on the PBE. Go to home. World Pick'ems. I mean, it usually shows up at like the very beginning. Like right when I load in. You know what I mean? Play. I don't know. Don't get him in trouble, guys. The meeting got canceled. It's all good. All right, we'll just watch it on here. Whatever. What are we going to do? I'm going to watch it on Skin Spotlight. Because I don't want to run out of time. Okay, here we go. Let's watch this, guys. I'm going to watch it one time through. Yo, thanks for the follow, Fresh. I'm going to watch this one time through. We're not going to talk, and then I'm going to go through it all over again. Do you want to get some news? Hey, Hater, DeLorean Grove. I asked yesterday this question, but couldn't hear what you said. Do you think we might get some news in 2026 of the Riot MMO? Absolutely. We're going to get the name, maybe a cinematic. We're going to get something in 2026. 2027, 2028 will be alpha. 2028, 2029 will be beta. I think the game will release in 2029 or 2030. I really do. I really do. Okay.
Boyang, why? I have no quarrel with you. We were like brothers. We met on this very ship.
I did not choose this fight, Xin Zhao. I am only here because deep down, there is something you know you have yet to face.
But what? I did everything I could to save you. You must know that.
Yes. You were always the better fighter. Here, and in Noxus. This one. I saw you break his skull with a mop stick. A child felling a grown man with a single blow.
The first life I ever took. I did not mean to kill him. I was only trying to protect our crew. The Noxians respected that, at least.
No, old friend. They did not. You and I were worthless to them. Cut loose as soon as we landed in the capital. But the rest of the crew was sent straight to the reckoning pits. Old fishermen and deckhands, your moment of defiance got them all killed.
No, this cannot.
Yet you went on to become the great Viscero, winning the crowd's adoration with each new victory. And I followed you to the very end. All the way to Kalstead.
Young!
I remember this.
I am here, my friend. I am with you. Though I never wanted to see this place again.
Pray this time will be the last. Tell me, Xin Zhao, was it worth it? In all the battles you have fought, the lives you have ended, do you truly believe you made the world a better place? Or would more good have been done by choosing not to fight at all?
Arise, Seneschal.
King Jarvan, you...
It is sire or my liege lord. We have become far too lax in protocol of late.
Of course, my liege lord. Forgive me.
I wonder perhaps if this is the cause of your distraction, hmm? The Master Gardeners tell me you plague them with questions about the Wildwoods.
It's so twisted.
And that is to say nothing of the many hours you have wasted in the palace library these past weeks. With this new unrest in the eastern borderlands, I must have confidence that my Seneschal will always be ready when needed. But perhaps it would be better for you to leave. Go and make peace with whatever this is.
No, this was not how it happened. He was never so unkind.
That's also not Jarvan the Fourth.
I release you from your oaths. Take one of my ships and return to Ionia. And do not worry yourself. For as long as I remain upon the throne, Demacia shall be a beacon of hope.
It was like Aatrox.
Sire! Failed?
More than you can possibly know.
Oh, by the Winged Protectors. You are...
Yes. The young prince you knew, beloved son of your dead master. But no more. How does it feel, Seneschal? The noble lad you swore to protect, now a mere vessel. The line is ended. This kingdom is doomed. You should have gone back when the Shrine Witch told you to.
No. This is not real. It is just a test.
Deluded, worthless, a broken spear. Who are you to defy the sun-born god warriors of Shurima? We who vanquished the void itself! This world is ours. We will take it back.
Then perhaps this is the answer. No.
That is not the answer you seek.
Xin Zhao!
Yunara? I was in the... Someone was watching, and there was a voice in the darkness.
You mean... you heard him, too? During your trials?
You think it was Zahen's voice?
I don't know. It should not be possible, but... the trials were meant to test each of us, alone. Why would he call out to guide us through?
He did not guide me. If anything, he warned me away from the Darkin weapons.
Then, just as he tried to tell me, all those years ago, he fears he will soon bring about this world's ending.
You knew him better than anyone. Do you trust that his promise to the Kinku still holds? Or has he lured in others to help free him from the spirit realm?
Zahen saved Ionia and the Third Lands. There has to be some good still left in him.
Very well. Then no matter what dark sorcery is at work here, we will not abandon him.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about all of this. Oh my gosh. That is a lot. That is a lot of lore. I move this over here. Let me get rid of this. Ask me lore. All right, let's go through this. Man, there is a lot. I wish that I just could, I wish I could pull it up in the game, because then I can just click through it. But it doesn't seem like it's in there yet. It might have been in, is there a way? Am I missing it? Collection, loot, store, league. Isn't there like, ranked? It must be in like the, it must be in the, what's it called? The beta. Or not the beta, the PBE. Where's like the, is it here? Loot. What's new? I forgot how to get to, I forgot even how to get to like the original one. It's taking so long to load here. Maybe it would come up here. I want to click through it because then it just goes through like slowly, but I guess we're going to go through it this way, which is not ideal. But let me pull up. Let's go to like Ionia. Play some Ionia music. Okay. So first we start off on the ship, the Viscero. Yeah, massive, massive. I don't know, bro. It feels like the story is moving too slow for it to be concluded next comic. I think there's two more. There's this comic. I think there's two more. You could see it in, I don't know why this isn't loading. Maybe I'll close it and reopen it. Exit. Let's try to reopen League of Legends. I'm on League of Legends. Oh, well, there. Then it popped up, of course, right when I closed it. We'll try one more time. I'd rather like click through it one by one. But we got a lot of lore to go through. First, we start with the Viscero, and man, this reveals a lot and honestly points more to my theory that Xin Zhao fuses with Zaheen, and that the glowing eye in his Trials of Twilight skin points more to that he actually merged with Zaheen. Similar to Yunara. I thought those visions were given to Xin Zhao by LeBlanc, but it appears not. I do think the first vision was still given to him by LeBlanc, the one of Demacia falling. I still think that was LeBlanc. Zaheen was in the spirit realm at that time. So I don't think he was able to reach across the spirit realm to Xin Zhao. It's possible. I don't think this is going to load. Oh, okay. But that didn't help either. Where's like the... It would have came up right away. It must not be on here yet. They must have gotten it from the PBE. Okay, let's go. So it starts off Xin Zhao on the Viscero. Let's not forget that Xin Zhao's story really starts with the Viscero, which is a fishing ship from Ionia. So he's aboard the Viscero. He's sailing out to sea fishing, and a Noxian fleet finds them and attacks. And it turns out that this guy, who was an ally of Xin Zhao, his brother, Bo Yang, blames him. "I did everything I could to save us. You must know that." He says, "Yes, we're always the better fighter, here and in Noxus. This one, I saw you break his skull with a mop stick. A child felling a grown man with a single blow." So Xin Zhao killed one of them. Like the Noxians respected that at least. He said, like, but blaming him. He says, "You went on to become the great Viscero, winning the crowd's adornment with each new victory. And I followed you to the very end, all the way to Kalstead," which is a battle later on that we'll see. "You and I were worthless to them, cut loose as soon as we landed in the capital. But the rest of the crew were sent straight to the reckoning pits. Old fishermen and deckhands, your moment of defiance got them all killed." Like, I don't think you can blame. Yeah, new comic. Yeah, what up, Irvin? I don't think it's right to blame Xin Zhao for defending himself. I hate that. Like, I always respect people that would die on their feet rather than live on their knees, right? And this guy's basically saying, like, you should have lived on your knees and you would have survived longer rather than die on your feet. Like, you can't blame Xin Zhao for killing this guy who attacked them for the repercussions of that attack. I completely disagree with it. Yeah, so he went on to become Viscero. And this guy followed him all the way to Kalstead. Kalstead is a battle that happened, and I don't know if Kalstead shows up on the map. But basically Noxus recruited a bunch of people, like these warriors that were fighting in the reckoning pits, to join their army because they were short on soldiers. Kalstead was a battle with Demacia, somewhere here in the middle, like probably near Nockmerch, between Demacia and Noxus. Noxus recruited all of them, enlisted them in the army, and basically sent them to battle with Demacia. Where am I? I need to close some stuff so I know where the heck I am. It's this one. Yeah. Okay. So that's the Battle of Kalstead. It looks like his friend Bo Yang died in the Battle of Kalstead. You can see, like, they docked, Noxian ship docked, all the Noxians are dead. Xin Zhao actually defended himself to the point that the Dauntless Vanguard over here respected him enough to keep him alive. He would, instead of killing him, they respected, like, that he was willing to fight on, despite clearly being a lost battle. Like, they docked, got completely decimated by the Demacians, but Xin Zhao kept fighting post, like, all of them losing. Have to head off. Thanks for the stream. Yo, peace, Como. I'm here, my friend. I am with you. In all the battles you have fought, the lives you have ended, do you truly believe you made the world a better place? Pray this will be the last. Tell me, Xin Zhao, was it worth it? Basically telling him, like, should you even fought, or should you just, like, you know, rolled over? Or would more good have been done by choosing not to fight at all? I completely disagree. Bo Yang, like, this Trial of Twilight, really, I completely disagree with him that it's, like, not worth it to fight. We could tell that in the Nightmare Sort, King Jarvan the Third wouldn't act like that towards him. Yeah, and it's also, this is King Jarvan the Fourth, Arise, Senshil. This is definitely, I think this is King Jarvan the Fourth. Like, that's way too old to be King Jarvan the Third. That's not King Jarvan the Fourth. And so one, it's the wrong king. I can tell you it's the wrong king because remember the Xin Zhao cinematic? Whoa. YouTube. Xin Zhao cinematic. This one. You can see right here. This is King Jarvan the Third. Okay?
And protector. The prince's beloved mentor.
The prince's beloved mentor. That's King Jarvan the Fourth, and that's who sends him to Ionia. This is King Jarvan the Third. So, one, it's the wrong king. He's dead at this point. King Jarvan the Fourth, the prince, is risen up. Unless that timeline has changed and King Jarvan the Fourth is the one that's ruling at the time of Xin Zhao. Which I don't know if that's right. Because Xin Zhao has that white hair streak here. And Xin Zhao is much younger in this. You can see like there's no white hair on Xin Zhao here. This is a younger Xin Zhao when King Jarvan the Fourth reigned. And I think that this is the wrong king. It was actually King Jarvan the Third that sent him. Nah, it's the third because Jarvan the Fourth is the one corrupted. Jarvan the Fourth is the one corrupted? I think it's still King Jarvan. Yeah, Jarvan the Fourth appears with the one corrupted. But this is definitely King Jarvan the Third. I mean, yeah, definitely. We couldn't tell that this is the nightmare of sort. King Jarvan the Third wouldn't act like that. Yeah, we do. We definitely know that.
With questions about the Wildwoods.
So this is all like just BS, but like we can see, remember that this is Zaheen talking to him, right? Let's assume that this is Zaheen. It is Sa'ai, my liege, lord, yeah, whatever. I'm basically saying like, know your place. I wonder perhaps if this is the cause of your distraction, The master gardeners tell me you plague them with questions about the Wildwoods. And say that it's nothing many hours, you're constantly like unrest in the eastern borderlands. With this new unrest in the eastern borderlands, that has to do with mages, by the way. I must have confidence that my essential will always be ready when needed. Perhaps it would be better for you to leave, go and make peace with whatever this is. I release you. Wow, look, you can already see. Look at the ooze start dripping down.
Release you from your oaths. Take one of my ships and return to Ionia.
There's the black ooze of like Atakan coming down. Could this be Atakan again? Which means that this vision is coming from LeBlanc again. Guys, LeBlanc is the master manipulator. I don't want to go down the Blanc hole again, but I'm telling you guys right now, this could be another vision from LeBlanc within the spirit realm through Atakan and not even Zaheen, but he's manipulating him into thinking that it's like a good vision trying to stop him. Like it's like with a kid, you tell them not to do something and that's what makes them go do it. And I feel like LeBlanc may be playing that same game.
And do not worry yourself.
This black ooze makes me think Atakan over here and not Zaheen, right? This black ooze has been a hallmark of Atakan the whole time. Let's keep going. I'm just saying that black ooze is very telling. I'm starting to think that this was actually Atakan that gave him this vision which is through LeBlanc. For as long as I remain on the throne, yeah, and this DARKIN runs up behind him, kills him. And that ends up being, it looks like Aatrox's gonna be like a new Aatrox skin. But it's supposed to be King Jarvan the Fourth who kills him. Then he goes, puts him out of his misery. Have I failed? More than you can possibly know. Oh, by the winged protectors, referencing like, because that's what they always talk about in Demacia with Kael and Morgana. Yes. The young prince you knew, beloved son of your dead master. But no more. How does it feel, Senshou, the noble lad you swore to protect, now a mere vessel? The line is ended, this kingdom is doomed. You should have gone back when the Shrine Witch told you to. So it looks like, guys, I think it actually is King Jarvan the Third that is still alive to this day. He hasn't died yet, which means that the Mage Seeker Rebellion has not happened at this point in time, which means that Arcane, which we always say, I keep saying Arcane is going to Demacia. that the story is going to continue with Silas still in prison. It doesn't have to go back at all. Because at this point in time, King Jarvan III is still alive. Silas is probably in prison somewhere. And King Jarvan IV has not taken over after his father's death. Wow. This, Garen, I mean, I think this is definitely like representing of King Jarvan IV with the spear. Really, it's Aatrox. Yeah, it could be Garen too, representative of Garen. A little bit. Oh yeah, I see the Garen side to you. You're right. I can see the Garen aspect of it. Could be a Garen skin coming out. I agree. And then this looks like more like this is definitely King Jarvan IV. So actually, King Jarvan III is alive, and King Jarvan III is the one that sends Xin Zhao to Demacia. I always thought it was the fourth. So that's big. You should have gone back when the Shrine Witch told you to. Remember, Yunara told them, go back to Demacia. Me and Kennen will go into the Spirit Realm, kind of thing. We have to deal with this. The noble lad you swore to protect, now a mere vessel. The line is ended. So this is like if he becomes a Darkin. No, this is not real. It's just a test. You are deluded, worthless, a broken spear. Who are you to defy the sunborn god warriors of Shurima, who have vanquished the void itself? Remember that the god warriors of Shurima are the ones that fought in the void war of Acathia and stopped the void from basically spreading throughout the world. They were heroes of Shurima. The problem was that they became corrupted by the void after that war, guys. Okay, remember Sundisk raised god warriors in Shurima. Acathia released the void because they were oppressed by the Shurima and the god warriors. They were going to get destroyed. They released the void thinking it's a weapon that will help them. Ends up destroying all of them. And the god warriors, even some god warriors died during the void war of Acathia. But they did halt the void. And then, you know, they became corrupted by the void is the problem. You should have gone back with the Shrine Witch told you to. No, this is not real. It's just... what did I miss? The world was ours. We will take it back. You can see the darkened weapon. Then perhaps this is the answer. And then he tries to grab it here.
No. That is not the answer you seek.
Okay. I think this whole vision was actually LeBlanc and Atakan. But now we gotta remember we're in the spirit realm where Zaheen is, and I think then Zaheen breaks through and tries to tell him, no, don't do that. That's not the answer you seek. This is all a vision by LeBlanc, right? All a vision, yeah, all a vision by LeBlanc through Atakan. Remember we saw that like oil slick there, which is again hallmark Atakan, right? I think that this is what they're trying to get him to this point, and Zaheen literally tells him, no, this is not the answer you seek, right there. And then he wakes up.
Yunara?
And then he's like, I was in the, someone was watching, and there was a voice in the darkness. Someone was watching. I think the person that was watching and manipulating him was actually Atakan and LeBlanc. LeBlanc through Atakan. The voice in the darkness was Zaheen. Two separate things. You mean you heard him too during your trials? So Yunara heard Zaheen too. You think it was Zaheen's voice? I don't know. It should not be possible, but the trials are meant to test each of us. Why would he call out to guide us through? He did not guide me. If anything, he warned me away from the darkened weapons. Then just as he tried to tell me all those years ago, he fears he will soon bring about this world's ending. You know him better than anyone. Do you trust that his promise to the Kinku still holds true, or has he lured in others to help? So she's saying, has he lured the Azakana, the demons, to him to help free him? And she says, like, Zaheen saved Ionia and the Third Lands. There has to be some good still left in him. And these frickin' people, very well. Then no matter what dark sorcery is at work here, we will not abandon him. And I'm telling you guys, it's freaking going to be Xin Zhao fusing with Zaheen. He's going to pick up the darkened glaive, and he's going to fuse with Zaheen, and that's why we get that blue eye in his Trials of Twilight. Love Arcane, but I've never played League of Legends. Where do you suggest I go from the last episode of Arcane to continue my experience? I'd say just start watching, honestly, like, not self-promotion, but start watching my YouTube videos. I'm serious. Like, just go to, like, my content, my videos. I always start every video from the perspective of, like, that the person knows nothing. So I would go through, like, general Runeterra lore, cover all of these, like go to demons, Runeterra's doom, magic trees, the Darkin lore, the end of Runeterra, what is a Yordle, how Lysandra doomed Runeterra. If you're gonna watch How is Yordle, watch Why Demacia as mages first. You could even start at Runeterra Lore Beginner's Guide. And then there's the 2 Arcane videos that I did, which are like Arcane Lore for next for Demacia and Arcane Lore next for Noxus. Those are also really good. I think those give you... I might actually add those to the general lore. This might retcon Jarvan III. This might retcon Jarvan III being assassinated to be during Sin's visit to in Ionia. Would still play into Zin's I shouldn't have been there. Struggle. Whoa, that's big. That's big. That's great. That's a great one. Oh, so he's all the way in Ionia, and that's when the king is assassinated. Had Xin Zhao been there, he may have been able to prevent it. But the Mage Seeker Rebellion happens during this time. Ooh, that's very good, Alexander. I like that. I like that a lot. Actual perfect retcon, maybe. Yeah, that makes sense. Zaheen helps him out of it essentially. Yeah, like pulls him right when Zaheen comes in, he pulls him out of the vision. I think the whole goal was to get him to this point, and then Zaheen pulls him out. So this vision is again from freaking LeBlanc and Atakan. Wow. Bell reads the novel Garen First Shield and Ruination. Play the Rune King game, look through the champions, and read the lore. Yeah, I mean, obviously playing the games is an amazing thing. The Ruination game is the Ruination book and Mbessa book are both really good. And then the just general lore around the map. But if you want to watch videos, I think my videos are really good. Wow, guys, this was massive. Again, I really think like the Trials of Twilight skin now points even more towards, I think even more now that this Trials of Twilight skin is really pointing towards Xin Zhao fusing. You can see the blue eye there, which is very reminiscent of the blue eye that we see in the Trials of the Shrine Maiden, which is after she forms the pact with Zaheen. And I think it's going to be Xin Zhao next is going to agree with the pact with Zaheen. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, we'll find out. But it seems like that's in scope of LeBlanc's plan, which is to get someone to obtain the Darkin weapon and someone that she can manipulate and control. And it seems like she's planning on doing that with Xin Zhao. Wow, wow, wow. Why does the lore keep getting freaking better? My gosh, the lore is so good right now. I don't even know what to do. So they did change that. It's King Jarvan III that sends him to Ionia. Whew. This was awesome. What an awesome comic. The comics keep getting better. Guys, I'm probably going to talk about this to you guys tomorrow too. I'm sure I'm going to watch this comic another dozen times. I really do have to get to work. Massive, massive thank you to everyone that followed. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes from yesterday. What an awesome stream. Thanks for stopping by the Grove, all of you. Thanks for everyone for all the comments and talking. This really is the best part of my day, is talking Runeterra lore with all of you guys. So thanks for stopping by the Grove, and I will see you in the next one. I love the latest motion comic, but oh man, does it make me want the MMO sooner. Man, the MMO. I can't wait, guys. I'll freaking do this for another 5 years because I just feel like the Riot MMO is the next big thing, and it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see you guys in Runeterra. All right, I got to get to work. Peace.
Thank you.